Nice.
Uh,
To the bird.
then, in that case, without further ado, let us begin session 14 of Odyssey of the Dragonlords. Before we return to the group, the party, the sets of sacrifices that have been placed upon the rock of Estor and now face the rock of Estor, would someone like to briefly summarize what terrible decisions you all made to get to this point? Preferably one of the 4 people who have been here for most of the campaign.
Guys, every time the bard, every time we make me do
It's in your class description.
Every time the bard. I am happy to help if we can go kind of chunk by chunk. But I'm happy to actually help rather than when I say, okay, I can start it if anybody wants to assist, and then nothing comes. So yes, I will assist, Chloe. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Are we just discussing the last session?
Yeah.
Okay.
What
Previously
has led
on
up.
Odyssey of the Dragonlords.
Previously, hell yeah.
Oh shit, I'm way behind. I forgot to change my picture. Our party awoke from their bouts in Lutheria's dream realm, and they found themselves on the Rock of Estor, where Capitania Cadivas had been defending them, but he had not been defending them alone. In fact, 2 other strangers had been chained as well to the Rock of Estor. It seems that these 2 strangers had come to assist our party after receiving visions and visiting the Oracle themselves. Each of the party members was chained to another member of the party. I cannot remember who was chained to who. Everyone was struggling to get out of their chains, but Rue, who now has this like kind of fiery hole in his throat from his time in Lutheria's realm. Can I not say hole without you laughing?
Not fiery hole.
Shit. Okay. Hole. Okay,
Meg, you want to...
Fucking Andrew's face.
Just pick it up
But so
from
yes,
fiery hole.
just picked it up in fiery hole. But so yes, Rue was able to shift into a big beast, as the entire group overall was beset upon by just a terrible swarm of basilisks. Miles, you can still even hear him to this day, thousands of years in the future, in another realm, saying, I told you not to look at the basilisk, yet we still did. Overall, though, we managed to beat back and scare off most of the smaller ones. Only 3 of us getting petrified over in the upper right-hand corner, set upon by the larger basilisk that we had presumably fought is prior. Thankfully, we were able to very near miss, not absolutely all die, rally, and with the help of our two new companions here, beat it back, put it down, and take it out eventually. At which point we did reveal to them, oh, we don't have to go back yet. Do have to wait until morning. And while we were, it would be an easy and quiet remainder of the evening into the morning. The weather got much worse, and Rue spotted a very, very big feather floating through the water downstream. And When we look up, there's some sort
Nani?
of lighting upon the area, and that's where we left off. Look.
And with Rue, Miles, Echo, Cesira, Vanda, Tassia, and Captain Cadavis still upon the rock, amongst thunderstorm and dark rain, you all look up to see the dark shadow, illuminated briefly by lightning and the electricity running through its feathers, the sight of an enormous bird bearing down on them. It's probably a good time to ask for you all to roll for initiative.
I was gonna say, does it look friendly? But I guess that answers that question.
Hell yeah.
The question asked and answered. Oof.
This is a big ass turkey.
Wasn't there a
Love
specific
to
way
not
we're supposed to
be
do
done.
initiative so it gets in the order for you, James?
You gotta,
You just gotta
yeah.
make your first.
If you make sure you click on your token,
Are
and then
you
it'll.
supposed to have 0 health, Vanda?
No. I think I'm at 32.
Okay, good.
Van died of fright somewhere in the middle there.
We did just take a short rest.
You did, yeah.
Oh yeah, my sheet says nothing right now.
Whoa. Guys, I think I actually beat someone on initiative. This never happens.
Yeah, you beat a bird.
Wow.
This is the burb. The burb rolled a 4.
For future
Technically, you beat
consideration,
Rue
Ian,
too.
Is this a beast?
Is this a beast? Good question.
Yeah. Does it have a appropriate CR that I'll be able to wild shape?
It
into?
is, unfortunately, a huge
Oh my
monstrosity.
God.
Ah. Okay.
I mean, you could turn into giant burbs, just not super giant burbs.
Right.
Super massive giant bird.
Did I do it wrong? I did it wrong. How?
No,
I don't
you
know
did it
how.
correctly.
No, you're good.
Let's
Right.
go.
Everyone's
Super
in.
massive hairy holes.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah.
The rest of you hear Rue look up into the sky, just as it almost like swings around near the shore. As it does so, several bursts of lightning crack down into the ground, sending rock flying before it begins moving down towards you. At this point, it's about 200 feet in the air as it swings around. Tassia, you're the first to be able to react to the sight of the creature. It is dark, and the darkness is making it difficult to see the creature, as is the rain. What would you like to do?
So guys, what's the plan? She kind of like nervously looks off. Did we know this was coming? No? Okay. And she's going to pull out her short bow and wait for a better shot, I guess.
Right. A short bow, I think, has 80 range. So once it gets into 80 feet, you'll have a good shot. It's a little bit thrown off by the weather. Anything else? If you shook your head. Sorry.
I think that's it
Alright.
for right now.
Vanda. Oh, low initiatives. Still beat the beast. What would you like to do?
Vander's gonna look up at it and look around at everybody and be like, just a question. You said, where is the body of the huge basilisk? Is that still kind of like washed up with us?
Not with you. Along an embankment of rocks, you can see directly just to the what direction is that? To the west of you. You can see like
Okay.
the outline of its body sort of being pushed like a log against the series of jutting stone.
Okay, so if theoretically Van wanted to like get his sword in sort of like the mucus that caused petrification before that. Would that be possible while still staying on the rock?
No, you'd have to jump down from
Okay.
the rock
Okay.
to the edge of
Probably
it at
not.
least.
Probably not ideal.
Yeah. But actually, you could stand on one of the ledges, just barely. But as before, the ledges are slick, both from water and now from the blood of the basilisks that you'd fought before, perhaps even some of your own, and also the dirty mucus of the creature itself, since its time up on the rock.
Congealing.
All right. Sounds a bit risky since leaving the rock screws us over. I guess I'll just hold an action if the creature gets in range, within melee range, to make an attack against it.
All right. Cesara, what would you like to do?
She is going to just be. She starts bouncing on her heels and is looking at far too far because she doesn't think it's going to get close enough, but she'll be excited for it nonetheless.
Right. Sorry, you broke up a little bit there. Was that a ready action?
Nah, just gonna wait for it because I'm gonna want that rage regardless. So
All right.
no. Actually, hold on, wait. I do
take the
have
dodge
javelins.
action.
We'll
Okay.
we'll ready a javelin.
All right.
Woohoo!
As you bring one out, eyeing up the creature as it flies closer. Echo, what would you like to do?
How far away is it?
It's 200 feet up, and from the rock itself, it's about 35 feet. You saw it did sort of a half circle closer to the shore, sending shards of lightning down before turning towards you yourselves.
Okay. Can you bonus action in the ready in action, or did you have to just ready?
No, you can use a bonus action and then ready an action using your action.
Okay. Who among us still? Everyone looks like they've they've licked their wounds. I am going to take sort of semi-cover behind the rock, the stone in the center, the pillar, and I am going to grab the amulet around my neck. And as soon as it gets within 150 feet, I'm going to prepare to cast Fireball.
Okay, that will cast a spell, so you're currently holding it, waiting for it to get into range. Alright, so the rest of you see this small ball of fire alight in Echo's hand. And now that you mentioned the pillar, Tassia, did you want to move to get a better light? Because you have the pillar right in front of the line of sight between you and the rock.
Yeah, I'll remove. Oh boy. Okay.
Alright. Miles, what would you like to do?
That's too dumb. Yeah, I'm gonna stay where I am and just sort of hold an Eldritch Blast, I guess.
Alright.
I don't have a lot of stuff to do.
So Phantasm of Magic begins to form in your own hands on the other side of the pillar, while one forms in Echo's Rue. You are now a bear.
Correct. Rue transforms into his bear form, roars a challenge at the rock, and then holds his action for when it becomes within melee range.
Okay. Unfortunately, the rock is quite small. By transforming into a bear, you're either going to get Cesara's way or Tassia's. If you stand there, you might slip off, as before.
My dumbass heard the rock is quite small, and I was just like, "Are we talking about the same bird?"
Sorry, yeah.
Thing's
I
bigger
was
than
like,
God.
the bird is very big, James. Actually,
The bird is the young Thunder Rock of Estor is.
And in that
It's
case,
quite
then
huge.
Rue will take cover behind Cesara and ready produce flame for when the rock comes within approximately 30 feet of him.
Alright. Let's see. It does begin to dive down towards you. As you can see, it tucks its wings in, and as it draws closer, you can see its eyes almost crackle with electricity. As it lets out a piercing scream, the rest of you sort of dig your heels in and let loose a volley as it rushes almost 200 feet. Still about 15 feet up in the air, but it begins to like pull up just as it reaches you. All of your ready actions go off. As this thing almost drives past. We will start with Tassia. You were the first.
22 to hit.
The bow fires off, and the arrow flies true as it cracks in near the beak of this creature. Roll for damage.
7 piercing.
7 points of piercing damage as it cuts in, barely halting the momentum of this thing. As you can see, its wingspan, like it pulls up just before you and opens out, and it almost seems to block all light. And for a moment, the rain stops as it covers over you. It's like this 80-foot wingspan holds over. Nonetheless, who had Vander? You... Oh, did you end up doing anything, Vander?
Yeah, I held my action with a melee attack. Does it
melee
get
attack.
close enough to me?
No, it's still about 20
Okay.
feet in the air, but
Cool.
it is sort of where it is there, unfortunately. Which means, Cesara, your javelin, I think, still out of range for a regular throw, but you can
30 feet.
do it with disadvantage.
I don't
Yeah.
bother re-rolling because I imagine that doesn't hit. But
Yeah, unfortunately 12 does miss. As the javelin arcs in through the air, it does seem to hit the creature, but it seems to hit its beak as it just like taps it away almost instinctively. Echo, your fireball flies up at the same time as Miles and Rue's spells are released as well. It will make a dexterity saving throw, as just for a brief moment there's a hiss in the air and then a loud and low thump of fire as it burns the rain and the creature. Oh, good roll. It has to make a dexterity saving throw. Fails. As it singes the creature, you can hear it
nice.
almost shriek in pain as the heavy wind of its draft flies past you. Miles and Rue, you guys can release your spells as well into the creature.
Just out of curiosity, is there music playing?
There is.
Ammo.
There is. Okay.
A 15 is just a hit as it cracks
Hell
into the
yeah.
creature. A 10, unfortunately, is a miss as the fire is almost
that's-
eaten up by the fireball itself. So just 6, right?
All my toggles are still on. Yeah, it's just a 6. I'm sorry.
Right.
One of these days I'll remember those.
The between the arrow and the blast, the creature is somewhat rickety, but the fireball just explodes into it, and you can see that several hairs almost like singe away entirely. As you can see, the back of it begins to flare with fire. Nonetheless, Tazia, it is your turn.
Do you want to try to ground this thing or just keep shooting at it? She'll kind of look at people.
If you can
have-
ground it, that'd be fantastic.
I have a stupid plan that could potentially work.
I'm in.
And she's gonna
Let's do
take
it.
a rope and tie it to one of her arrows for her turn.
Alright.
And hand the other end to Cesira. Cesira.
Yep. I take these. Let's go.
Alright.
And I'm
Yeah,
assuming I won't be able to shoot it this round, so I'll
No,
just take
unfortunately
that.
yeah, you take out a heavier set arrow that would allow something like a rope to be tied to it and fired off. The captain sort of rushes forth, a spear at hand, and places it upwards towards the creature. Vander, what would you like to do? Oh, actually, as he does that, a bolt of lightning comes searing down towards you, Tassia. And I need everyone around Tassia to make a... So that's the captain, Echo, Cesara, and Rue to make a dexterity saving throw as a thunderbolt of lightning flashes from the air. Oh, that didn't do it. Tassia and Cesara both save. Rue fails. Who are we missing? The captain.
Me. Do I have disadvantage on saving throws, or is that
Why
just
would
skill
you
checks?
disadvantage?
The amulet.
Yeah, no, just skill checks for the moment until you get more points of exhaustion. The captain fails, and so does Echo. As everyone who fails takes 14 points of lightning damage, and everyone who passed takes 7 as it cracks down before you. Tassia, you managed to just duck out of the blast of lightning as you slide before Cesara to hand her the rope. Unfortunately, Cesara, for Cesara, means she had just stepped away, but at the same time it cracks down into the ground, then seems to blast into the metal pillar, and then illuminate outwards, catching the rest of you before you can react. Vander, what would you like to do?
Vam will step up a little bit closer so he has a clearer shot and throw his last spear at the rock. As a 12.
12 unfortunately misses. As it's thrown out, you can see that the creature just tucks in slightly and ducks underneath the javelin as it sails too high over the top of it. Anything else?
Nope.
Right.
I'll do it for me.
Cesara.
Cool. Can you guys hear me all right? I swapped to mobile miserably because my computer's having a time.
See you? Oh, hear you. Yes. Yeah, we can
Hear me. Okay, good. All right. Well, James, I do got a quick question for you because very conveniently I was just handed a rope for Roaring Thunder. It says I can teleport 50 feet in any direction. Do I have to go a full 50 feet, or can I stop short?
You can stop short.
Delightful.
Oh, I'm so into this.
That is such a good thing to say. Cesara turns to her much smaller, newer friend and goes, "Okay, you're going to hold onto the rope pretty tight, okay? Okay? I'll be right back, probably." And
No, wait.
she is going to back up and then rocket forward and completely vanish in this peal of thunder.
Let's go.
And she is aiming to teleport up on top of, just above the back of this rock so she can land right on it.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely crack and disappear with a cataclysmic shock that sort of causes the rain to shockwave, and you appear directly above the creature. You feel yourself falling down directly above it. As you can see, its enormous wings splayed out before you, and crackles of electricity all upon it. Question.
And
are you trying to drive
and so
the arrow in, or are you trying to grab onto it beforehand? Like, what are you doing once you get up there?
So can I use my action and the precocious wrestler aspect of my class to sort of try and like get the rope? I don't know if around a part of it is the right word, but like essentially get it enough around. I don't know where exactly would it be. Like, it's a big bird. I'm just on the back. Yeah, I guess driving the arrow in and trying to like stabilize myself somewhat on it. Like I'll more than happily take my action, just trying to keep steady and get solid purchase on it with the rope.
And precocious wrestler doesn't require you to be raging, right? You can just
no, it doesn't.
Section. All right. Well, let's do a grapple check first. As you appear before it, you sort of instinctively have to like grab down onto its neck as you fall beside it, catching it off guard. So I'm going to give you advantage because you did catch it off guard. But yeah, roll a contested a strength or athletics check. 24
Shall
to
do.
beat.
Beans! 23.
Right. As you land on top of the creature, you don't get a good grip. You have fallen onto it, but you definitely not. It's not a good hold. But you do have a moment where you can plunge with your other hand the arrow down into the creature. It is an improvised weapon attack, so just roll a straight strength check and see if you can slam it into the creature's through its thick hide.
Goddamn. That would be an 8.
Unfortunately, Tazia, you're holding the rope, and you see Cesara run the opposite direction and then just disappear in a shockwave. You see the rope sort of like go slack for a moment and then be pulled taut upwards. At the very same time, this creature, or the rock rather, Cesara, you have like a moment where you're like trying to grapple onto it, but then you feel yourself slipping off, and I need you to make another dexterity saving throw as it tries to
That's not.
buffet you off as it like pulls, realizes something has landed atop it, and tries to spin out from underneath you.
Shit!
Oh, you dumb cat.
Yep, big dumb cat! Tried to get on the bird!
Tassia,
Oh,
you
geez.
feel the rope go taut for a moment and then completely slack as Cesara, you are sent off as it spins away. It's also going to move half its fly speed because it's not grappled. As it begins spinning around in the air. But Cesara, you're thrown completely. Hand still with the rope still in one of your hands, but you begin to fall. You take 7 points of bludgeoning damage, and you start falling down towards the ground from 40 feet up in the air.
Well,
Echo,
still got the rope.
or 30.
She's still holding onto the rope.
She'll be
She
fine.
is, yeah.
Okay.
Zero would not have let go of that. Nope.
Okay, to prevent her from, at this point, like to prevent her from falling off the actual rock, technically.
She's already
I-
fallen off the rock.
No, I mean the rock of Estor. 'cause
Oh,
the
right.
ritual, I don't
I
know if
see.
we can actually.
Okay.
Like,
You did this to yourself
yeah,
with us
I only have
fighting a
myself
rock
to
while
blame.
on a rock.
Yep.
I'm just going to move to, next to Tasia and start pulling the rope as quickly as I can to pull it taut. So if Cesira wants
Oh,
to,
to pull it in as
fall
she falls.
back onto the rock, yeah.
If she wants to do that, sure. I mean, you can start doing that. So that'll be an athletics check as you sort of like slip past.
Yeah, that's my best.
So I just realized, can I cast Featherfall? Since it's a reaction when I see a creature falling within 60 feet of
Yes.
me.
my god.
As you may. If you have it, prepared.
That should help with that deal.
Big
So-
plays.
Cesira is falling a lot slower now, and we sort of reel her in.
Alright. So you were like buffeted as the wings like crash together. You feel the wind pull you. You feel the rope go taut, Tassia, as you're holding it. It almost slips from you, but Echo, you grab onto it. Just as Cesira begins to plummet, you feel the magic slow your fall to a gentle descent. Echo, you still have a bonus action left.
I just wink at Tasia, and that's my turn.
Alright.
Nice.
Miles.
Oh. Man, I always get confused with flying enemies. So he's just chilling right here. How far up is it?
Still 30 feet.
Okay. So it's not actually just chilling like 10 feet
It's not
away
on the
from
ground,
Vander.
though. I can
Okay.
do a little token thing.
That is good to know.
So it's 6 squares up.
Oh, cool. That's dead useful. Yeah, I'll edge away from Rue because lightning is striking and I don't want to be next to anybody.
Smart.
I'll sort of look up at it and just sort of like snap my fingers, curse it, and then we'll blast it again. Just Yeehaw, warlocks, I do one thing.
A 24 is going to be a hit. As another blast of this eldritch energy rushes up towards the creature.
Nice.
You've cursed it, did you say?
Yes, so the 2 is for real this time.
Well, you also... No, you rolled an 18. Never mind. Alright. So 10 points of damage cracks into the creature as it begins to fly down towards you. As you can see, it was like banking and then soaring down like a bird of prey in your direction. Rue, what would you like to do?
Rue will pop around the corner and cast Moonbeam,
Oh, really?
dumping it on top of the rock.
Yeah, nice.
And then he'll take cover behind this metal pillar because that's just how lightning works, right?
Yep. As you step up, I suppose it's just Miles and Vander. You can see Rue's eyes turn just as they did before when he'd last cast it. Now there's a flash of fire, and the clouds above part, and a blast of light comes traveling down towards it, and it's going to roll a save. Did you have that moonbeam thing, or did you want me to chuck it onto the map?
No, I just chucked it out.
You just chucked it out. Oh, nice.
Yep.
Okay.
And it doesn't
Save?
have to roll until it starts its turn.
Starting its turn.
Oh, it is starting its turn. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Save. Con of 13.
Okay. Was a con save. 17, unfortunately. It still takes half damage, though.
What are these little
5 points of
clementines that
damage.
are next to me? What am I looking at here?
As it's blasted slightly, unfortunately the cloud, even though the clouds had parted, the rain and darkness do cause the light to be somewhat lessened. But it crashes down. Vander, do you still have a ready action?
No, not this
Oh, you
turn.
threw a
My turn
javelin.
already came. Yeah.
In any case, it crashes down onto the ground towards you, Miles. You can see it makes a single beak. Its beak rushes in, trying to smash down onto you, but you manage to roll just outside. Nonetheless, it goes to continue to fly up and grab you in its talons with an natural 20. As you roll out of the way,
That
you take
super gets me.
8 plus 9. Well, that was lucky. 2 ones on the roll. 17 points of slashing damage, and you are now grappled in the creature's talons. As the rest of you see Miles just roll out of the way, press himself up against the rock before these enormous talons reach down, groove into the rock, and then begin lifting him as it begins to fly, or try and fly away. Tasia, what would you like to do?
Tell my story!
Oh boy. Echo's still holding the rope, yeah.
Echoes, yes.
I was hoping to use that rope. How much slack do we have from Erlin, and can I potentially wrap it around the bird before it takes the flight again?
Probably not that much slack. I mean,
Okay.
it's technically supposed to be 50 feet. Most rope, unless you've got a longer,
Yeah, 50
longer than
feet.
usual rope. Yeah. So at this point in time, not a lot of slack. Maybe 10 or so feet. Not enough to reach the rocket and tie it around, unfortunately.
Yes. I guess she's gonna try to jump on the. No, she.
Oh hell.
What's in? Okay. She's instead gonna run around Rue. And is Miles technically in the same space as the rock?
Miles is grappled. No, he's not. He's still where he is. As you
I
see,
suppose
the
I can just go
enormous-
here,
He's
actually.
he's underneath the talons as they've caged him and are beginning to lift him from the rock itself, the stone. As the rock lifts him from the stone.
Are there chains
Are
still
there
on the
chains?
ground?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Can I wrap one around one of the talons and try to tie it?
You can certainly try as you pick up one of the chains. Question: did you want to pick up one of them that is still connected to the beam, or did you want to pick up just
Yes.
the loose one? You did. Okay. So give me a sleight of hand check, and I'm going to contest it with a dexterity saving throw. Okay. I don't think you can beat that. No.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
you slide in. It is going to take your action as you pick up some of the chains that have just been left dangling. They might even be the ones that had held you before you unlocked them. You throw them around. As they loop around, you manage to clink them tight and clasp them once more, locking them in place. The creature doesn't seem to be aware of it, as for the moment it seems to be about to take miles into the air. You have a bonus action left. What would you like to do?
I think I'll just stay here, try to make sure the knot holds.
Right. Unaware that it's now chained to the beam, it is going to try and fly away with... Sorry, it's taking legendary actions. It has two. I don't know if people have realised. It's not just... I'm not just, like, doing things willy-nilly. Between
Man,
turns.
James really is looking at the turn order. Oh, man. Oh.
So it's going to take one of its legendary actions and do the same thing again. I need Echo, Vander, Tassia, and Miles to roll a dexterity saving throw, as that tends to then fly upwards. So Vander, you were like buffeted and prone. As are you, Miles.
Oof.
Somehow. As you're like
Can I be knocked prone if I'm in its clutches? Like, there's nowhere for me to go.
Yes, you can, unfortunately. Those of you who failed take 6 points of bludgeoning damage. And as it tries to fly upwards, you can see it like strains suddenly against as it's held by the chain in the same foot that Miles is in. It's now 5 feet off the ground. I should probably change that. 5 feet off the ground. Gripped by the pillar. Just for the moment, as it lets out a screech. This gives an opportunity for the captain to like slide in and cut upwards at the creature. And he's going to do so. As he stabs with his spear 3 times. Like he usually does. A 21 and a 19 are both going to hit, as he does 9 plus 6. 15 points of damage as he stabs upwards into it. And he looks to you, Miles, still clutched in the claws of this thing. And he says very helpfully, "Don't get taken!" Vander. You are prone, but you can use half your movement to get up.
Okay. Yeah, I will stand up. I will look to Miles and say, do you need me to help you?
I'm sure he's fine.
I mean, that would be lovely. Yes.
Let's go. Can I try and wrest Miles away from this creature's grasp?
Yes, you can give me a grab.
I'll stick my little fingies
You'll have
out
to
for him to
move,
grab.
get up and move, like to where he is at the moment. Like duck underneath the chain as you like get yourself up, and you see Miles like lifting down, being lifted up into the air. You like grab onto him. Give me a contested athletics check against this creature. Oh my gosh.
Please don't rip me in half.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yes.
you managed to
Let's
like
go.
leap up
Hot
into the
damn.
air and like just pull and rest Miles as just for the moment it seems like as it like slammed against the chain, it released Miles just for a moment, and in that split second you leap up, grab Miles from the air and like land, laying him back down on the ground. And you know what? It rolled a 1, so I'm going to let Miles be land feet first. However, at that precise moment, another bolt of lightning comes ricocheting down onto Captain Cadivus from the creature. And I need Echo, the Captain, Tassia, Vander, and Miles to all make me dexterity saving throws.
Oh, hell yeah.
DC 14. Anyone who rolled below a 14 takes 6 points of lightning damage. Anyone who rolled above takes 3. As it seems being underneath the creature helps somewhat, as the lightning comes down not from the creature itself, but from the thunder, from the clouds above, through the creature down into the captain, splaying out. Most of you dodging out of the way. Vander, you actually have a bonus action left. Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, actually, I will finally use my bonus action. I'll use my channel divinity that came back on a short rest,
Yep.
and I'll do the option that just lets me get back a spell slot.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Regain a first level spell slot.
All
And
right.
I'll turn to Miles and just say, like, are both halves of you here? Oh, great. Okay, let's do this.
What?
Cesare, you feel yourself like careening down, like floating, being pulled by the rope, but stymied. Your descent is stymied by the spell magic, as if you were like walking or sliding down a steep mountain. What would you like to do?
Yeah, her tail is thrashing the entire way she's coasting down. Would that have counted as my movement, or do I still move? Am I still able to move without using my action to do it?
Yep. Falling does not count.
Yes. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Fabulous. So, Cesare, it finally touches down and goes, it didn't super work, not great, but we're going to keep going. I still have the rope. And she's going to run up around here. There's the big terrible bird. 5 feet off the ground, you said?
It is, yep, just above you. The enormous creature, like, trying to fly away. You can hear the beam in the center, almost screeching and bending behind the captain.
This isn't more than 2 sizes larger than me. Can I grapple it from here, or would I need to get 5 feet further up to properly reach it?
You can try and grapple it from here.
Delightful. But first, we're going to rage at long last. Thank
Right.
goodness. And because Cesare is agitated, she got flung off, and it did not go super well. But so I will be raging.
Okay, but did she land on all 4 feet? I mean,
Dads always land on their feet. Please have mercy. It's the truth. They always land butter side down. But so yes, Cesare will attempt to precocious wrestle the rock. Wow.
Okay. Well, you've used a bonus action to rage, so you can use your regular action to just grab the creature. So that's contested
That's the
athletics check. You've got advantage because you rage.
Oh my god!
It's poorly this time. But yeah, you try and like reach up into it, but it's just like flapping. The wind buffets you as if you were standing beneath almost gale force winds as they swoop around.
I hate this giant bird.
Echo,
That'll be it.
what would you like to do?
I'm going to take the attack of opportunity, and I'm going to start running around to get some miles.
Right. Yeah, it's
Hopefully burn
gonna
up a reaction.
bite out at you. It's a 23 to hit
Mm-hmm.
for 14 points of piercing damage.
Uh-huh.
As it just like scrapes down onto your shoulder, but you manage to rush past next to Miles, who's not looking great himself. Both of you sort of bleeding from the heavy slashes of this creature.
Sort of just like putting a rib back into his abdomen.
Just like with 3 claw marks just down her back, Echo just like leans on you half for support. I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on Miles.
Right. Have you got a bonus action left? Anything you'd like to do with that?
Noise.
Oh, come on.
Also, James, I do appreciate that lightning attack was exactly 6 damage, because if I'd failed it, I had exactly 6 health left.
Just double checking how far that was. That was 25. 20. Okay. I'm going to move back behind the pillar and kind of grip my wounds and hopefully stay safe there.
Right. Miles, freed from the creature's grasp, healed slightly by Echo. What would you like to do?
Sure. Well, first things first, I click my heels together to set them alight. And I'm zipping the fuck away from this bad boy.
Alright.
I'm going.
So that's an attack of
over
opportunity
here.
with disadvantage.
Yes, sir.
Right. Its talons come
I'm
swinging
skating.
out. 14 to hit.
Yeah, neither of those would have done it.
Alright. As you see the same sort of claw come reaching out, the second claw come reaching out towards you. You're ready for it this time as you like rush with an alacrity that leaves behind a sort of faint blue fire with each step around and past it. Oh, it didn't have a reaction anyway. So.
Oh, well, wasted a hit die. Okay, that is fun. And then we'll use my action to Eldritch Blast. Bah!
Alright, roll the hit. That's a hit as the Eldritch Blast fires past and cracks into it for another 8 points of damage as it continues to strain and flap against the heavy chains. Tassie, you can see the chains like straining, but as the chain does, so too does the metal beam. As you can just see, hear the strength of it twisting it. Use your action to send the moonbeam back towards the creature. You bonus action transform. Alright.
Just as a quick addendum, I totally mistook where I'm standing. I thought Tassia was on the pillar. Like, I thought Tassia was the pillar, so I didn't move myself behind it. Am I allowed to, as that was my turn, am I allowed to move myself behind? Okay. My mistake.
Yeah. Wasn't that where Rue was originally?
Oh, it might have been.
Yeah.
So in that case, you can't move there. Sorry.
It's okay. I'll hide behind this beautiful
Tassia.
Sado woman.
Sure.
Echo phases inside Rue for half a second.
Yeah, cool. I'll move my moonbeam onto the back of the rock, being very careful to keep it away from Vander and Cesara.
Yep.
And then turn into a bear and sort of like squat down behind the metal pillar, thinking that I'm hiding, but not really.
Alright, as the beam comes down, it does its full damage this time. Roll for damage as the beam cracks into the creature. So take 12 points of radiant damage. It lets out another squall and shriek in pain as it like pulls against the chain. It is going to bite out at you, Cesaro. Actually, no, who's going to bite out at? High or low, Cesaro? Meg?
High, always high.
Always high. Right, it does bite out at you. Don't know if that's what you wanted, but it does. Whoop, that should not be a disadvantage. But a 10's a miss, I imagine. As you see its like beak come crashing towards you. You manage to sidestep it and it crashes into the ground. Nonetheless, with its free talon, it reaches around to try and grab the captain. And misses. My goodness, this thing's about to die. But it is going to use its movement to try and rush from the beam and break the chains itself. So it tries to fly away and fails as it continues to strain. This thing is not rolling well. Strain and flap. You just feel like the heavy wing beats tossing most of you around. But Tassia, it is your turn as you see it continue to like pull and grip.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna slash out at it with my short sword. I'm gonna pull out my short sword and try to hit it.
Right.
18 to hit.
As you
Let's go.
sidestep, you see like a heavy wing beat down, and you manage to slash up, catching it as it does so. Roll for damage.
10 piercing damage.
And sneak attack.
Very nice.
Do I have advantage?
Well, you're next to the creature.
It's threatened.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
that is max.
Oh boy. Shoot. First time rogue. What is that? I don't know if I have it set up.
You'll have like a
Level
little
4, is it
little thing
2d6?
underneath that
I
says
think it
sneak
should be
attack,
2d6
and
at
then you
this
can
level.
click it.
Yeah, 2d6.
On your sheet, there'll be like a little attack damage modifier called sneak attack. You can just click it.
Oh, I see it. We got it.
Ooh.
Wait. Okay. 6
for an additional
points
6
of
points of
damage.
damage. For a total of 16, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You slash into its feather, clipping its wing momentarily as it like falls down to the ground with a heavy thud almost. It's still 5 feet up, but it is pushing. Anything else you'd like to do? Bonus action, standard action? Sorry, bonus action move?
For bonus action, I'll disengage.
You
and
don't
then
need
I'll
to, you've got
move.
the mobile feet.
Oh, right. Duh. I'm just gonna move then. A little bit away.
No. I suppose you could use your bonus action to hide in case you wanted advantage, in case this thing
Yeah,
survives.
I'll do that. I'll like hide on.
As you take Echo's place, Echo, your cover disappears, and you've got to roll me a stealth check. As the captain, beneath the creature next to you, Vander and Cesara just nods to the both of you and plunges his spear upwards. 1, 2, 3. And misses all 3 attacks. Very good. GM not rolling well today.
He is just batting 1,000 on this rock, huh?
That's been the theme of the night, huh? It's just some sad rolls. Oof.
My man is off the shits.
All over the place. But yeah, he's like just trying to poke up at the creature, trying to get away from it, and it is going to send down another bolt of lightning. When was the last one? Has it had its turn? Yeah. It's going to send another bolt of lightning at the Captain, Vander, and Cesara. So I need all 3 to make dexterity saving throws. Oh.
I should have asked this. Does this apply for my danger sense at all?
Yes, it does. Yes.
Oh, beans! I've been rolling with advantage the whole time. Oh, goodness. Whew!
So that's a save. The Captain saves. Vander saves. You all save and will only take 3 points of lightning damage again. It seems that this creature is weakening. And you know what? Vander, you can roll a sense motive, insight. What are we doing?
Sure.
5e? One of them. Whichever one it is, you may roll it. 13. Yeah, you see chained to the rock and being poked and stabbed at from multiple places. There's like an element of fear in its eyes as it's screeching around, but it's also predatory, and you can see it's about to plunge down or slash out at one of you again. But it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Van will take very careful aim as the creature's like tugging against the chains and try and just get a nice swipe onto its neck, try and put it out of its misery.
Roll to hit as you do so.
Oh,
12 unfortunately is a miss as you reach up to slice towards it. The chain does get in the way as it like throttles and thrashes as your blade like it hits just heavy and thick feather. Anything else you'd like to do?
nope. Van will stay right where he is, and I'm good to go.
Alright, Cesara, you see Vander and the captain just like poking up at the creature, finding difficulty to land a solid blow. But you see an opening for a moment as it screeches and thunder continues to crash down. What would you like to
Come
do?
on, Cesara.
Yeah, so she will give a daunting roar first, just for the hell of it. So wisdom save from that one to see if it'll end up being frightened. She doesn't.
Interesting.
She would never properly say on it.
Fails.
All right.
Frightened for a
Delightful. Yep. All right. And so with that, she'll twist them all in her hands and then swing it up into the mass of the thing, not aiming for anything particular, just the bulk of it.
Alright. Roll to hit. Are you doing with advantage or reckless or?
Yes. Oh, yes. Reckless.
Oh, okay. Okay. Roll for damage. 22 is going to be hit. As you crack down into its other wing, or side rather, as it tries to pull up. With a heavy beat, you can see or feel that the bones are lighter than you expected. And there's a fracture as your heavy maul cracks into it for 14 points of damage. And it's going to use its last legendary action to try and get away as it cries
Son of a
out.
bitch, you're gonna make me feel bad about killing this bird.
So I'm going to need everyone within 5 feet. So that's Zara, the captain, and Vander to make another dexterity saving throw.
Does this also apply with danger sense?
This is also... Yes.
Okay.
Alright. As it beats its wings down, the captain and Vander are both knocked prone. Cesara, you manage to like cross your arms and like just push against the heavy beats as you dig your feet into the ground, as the blood and water like is splayed out, much like like when you're on a helipad in a rainy day. Vander and
Universally relatable experience, of course.
Yes.
take 11 points, no, 9 points of damage.
Beautiful metaphor.
As you're like slammed to the ground, and once more it's going to try and pull against the chains. Alright, come on. I'm rooting for the rock now. The bird.
I know, I feel bad.
You're just making me want to kill
No!
Oh,
As it like
man!
strains, trying to fly away. But it is Echo's turn. As it's like fear now in its eyes, thanks to the Cesara's roar. Or in its motions. Like a frenetic, I don't know if you've seen a bird like trying to pull against something that's been chained to, but very much that, just on a much grander and more dangerous scale. Echo, what would you like to do?
Bonus action. I'm going to whisper a small prayer towards Kyra as I look in the direction that we saw her standing. I'm going to cast Healing Word on myself as a bonus action.
Yeah, as you glance back over towards the rocks, the shore rather, to the east, you can see that like the crowd has like pressed up to the edge of the shoreline, as if glued to what is happening and was being illuminated a few 100 feet away in the darkness, rain and thunder. You heal yourself for 7, and you have an action left.
I will whisper, lend me your speed, and I'm going to hold my bloodied arm up, and I'm going to conjure a sunlit spear, and I'm going to toss it.
Did you use any hits out of heal?
I have 2 hit dice left.
Did you use any Wait, what level are you guys?
4.
Oh, okay, that makes sense, yeah. For some reason I thought you were all 3. Alright, roll to hit.
Okay.
Come on.
See. Alright, yeah, roll to hit. Spell attack first. That is some nasty damage.
Oh, spell attack. That is, yes.
Oh, wait a minute. Frightened doesn't give advantage on to hit, does it?
No, it just gives it disadvantage attacking us.
Alright, unfortunately the blast of light flies past the creature as it illuminates the area around it, casting a shadow on Cesara, the captain, yourself, and Vander, as it sort of cracks and explodes into the air. I
Okay.
don't know. If you could hear Kara, she'd just be like, "Sorry, I was distracted by a giant bird." Well,
That's my turn.
Miles, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I'll look at the bird and just sort of like cock my head to the side. Snap my fingers, cast hex on it, because yeah, I'm gonna victimize the shit out of this bird.
Oh
Yes.
my god! Oh my god!
Then I Eldritch Blast it.
Alright, roll the hit.
I'm disadvantaging strength checks, so there's no way in hell it's getting out of this grapple now, baby.
Probably not.
Oh,
28
right.
is also a hit.
Yeah, that's gonna take 13 damage,
Oh yeah.
3 of which is necrotic. Not that it matters.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see, but like with that final blast, as it cracks into the creature, you can see it's almost like collapsing to the ground. Its wing beats are heavier and more strained, and as it lets out a cry. Rue, it is your turn.
Rue
Towards
looks
the sky,
around the
lightning pumping all around.
Rue looks around the corner of the metal pillar that is barely obscuring him. Sees that he can't get to the rock.
Barely.
And just maintains concentration of his moonbeam.
oh!
'Cause he's a
Alright.
bear.
It is going to roll a very important con save. A very important con save. 24.
Oh.
It just barely lives. As it is rocked by the radiant. Sorry, I'll stop.
I'm applauding. I'm applauding.
No, you shouldn't. As it is blasted by the light, you can see it almost collapses as it lets out a final screech. It is going to just thrash and flail wildly. It is frightened. Probably doesn't want to be any closer to you, Cesara. So it's just going to flash and flail towards Vander and the captain. So it's going to beak down at you, Vander. 20 to hit.
Yeah.
As it plunges into you for 8 points of damage. Oh, another double ones. And then its talons crack into the captain. Yep. 15 points of damage. Oh, and he drops to 0 hit points. So he's knocked unconscious.
Okay.
As the talons... Oh, no.
Oh, he doesn't get to do exhaustion, huh?
No, he's an
NPCs
NPC.
can't do that.
I lied.
Oh.
He's on,
No.
he's on 1 health. As it, like, grabs... but he is grappled. And he's going to try and pull away. Yeah, it's dumb. So, disadvantage. Strength check. Oh, that hex.
Ooh.
Yeah, it pulls,
That heck.
Clutch hex.
pulls at the chain.
Clutch.
The captain, like, in its talons. Tassia. You see
Let's go to Taz, yeah.
that, yeah, you have an opportunity, a moment, as it's like lands briefly, its neck down, striking at Vander, its talons gripping around the captain, but you can see like an open sort of, its open neck stretched out. What would you like to do?
She's gonna try to run and hit it. Can I like go through them?
Oh, what did you roll on your stealth check?
25?
Oh,
Question mark?
yeah, you've got advantage.
Like real good.
You can move through. Yep. So you have advantage
Alright.
on your strike.
Okay.
And you can move through allies, yes. At the
Alright,
range.
I'm gonna jump there and try to hit with my short sword.
Hey.
1, 4,
Let's go.
Right.
6, and then sneak attack damage.
Yep.
12
Hey.
total.
Let's
That's right.
go.
It had 3 health left. How did you want to do this?
I like to imagine she just like, runs and jumps and just slashes down on the neck. The extended neck.
As you do so, it lets out a final cry that sort of pierces the heavens. Lightning comes crashing down all around you, and its body just slumps heavily. The captain like rolls from its claws, and Vander, you manage to like push the beak down as Tassie, you like slide along the neck as blood sort of gashes out, and you can see its body like begins to slide off the rock as you have beaten the rock of Estor. both senses of the
I'm
word.
like panting, looks at everybody and like, that wasn't so bad, right?
Nice.
Sazera,
Killed it.
Sazera moves between and gives her just a massive clap on the back with a giant fucking paw. So
Like
Oh.
flies forward.
As the rock dies, a little wisp of darkness sort of emanates out of it and floats over to Miles, and it just like goes into his mouth. And I regain 8 hit points and just go.
that's
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
No.
oh my god.
Yeah, my phone was open video for 4 rounds of combat. I was just waiting for that thing to die so I could do that bit.
You've been ready. You've been ready, and that's so fair. Oh my god. But
You were all. out
so,
of
what was the big bird? I haven't seen any ones this big.
Question, DM,
Yes.
when the rock's body falls, is it just hanging from the rock of Estor because of the chains?
Yes. Yeah.
Is it just hanging upside down? It's like this really gruesome display.
Well, it's
rock's
like
hanging
half
from
of
the
its
rock.
body and wing. Thanksgiving, everyone. Turkey.
Yeah.
Half of it's hanging. I think its neck, because of the way it was cut by Tassia, is just like its head has like fallen to the ground. It's like breathing out its like final breath, but no strength is in its body as it like slowly fades from life before you. Oh, Miles, your blade. You can hear it speak in your mind and hum. And you just hear a single word. Jump into the Secrets channel with me, the rest of you. Do whatever you wish. Alright. You hear your blade. So I don't know if you've summoned it at this point, or it's within you. But nonetheless, you hear Myrmidos speak out in this sort of droning tone. Just says, learn. As it like almost compels you to move towards the rock, and you can feel the electricity, the sort of like thrumming from it.
Oh hell yeah! I go towards the rock.
Yep, you just feel like as its final breath fades, you feel the need, or like the not need, but the pressure from Myrmidos to plunge your blade into its heart.
Do that.
As your blade sinks into it, lightning seems to crackle up its length and into you. It shocks you for a moment as you feel like power surge through the blade and into you, and as it like withdraws, you feel yourself crackling with electricity from the blade. You now do an extra D4 points of electricity damage with the blade, and you learn the Call Lightning spell.
Yo,
Alright.
yo.
I can try to reconnect
I
real
assume-
quick, see if it fixes.
I assumed it was just me, so good to know.
Nothing to see
Ben,
here.
issues.
Nothing to see.
Also, like, I feel like I was being punished somehow for last session. You know, when I was having so much fun making all those jokes about not getting hit at all.
Yeah.
And
then you got
I
bullied.
lost 26 of my 29 health in 1 round of combat.
Dude, Tassia
That's a pretty good day.
saved your butt. Because it was going to lift you up and then drop you hard.
Yeah, man.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I was only a little bit disappointed. It was so rad when Sazira did her like teleport
So sad.
charge thing.
Yeah, I was
But
hoping that was
so
gonna work.
sad.
Yeah, that
As
was.
soon as you disappeared, I was like,
I should-
"Oh, who's gonna throw me now?"
I was literally thinking, I was like, I can't fastball him if I'm on the bird, but if I fail, I'll be back.
Yeah, I mean, of all of us, you might be the only one who could survive a fall off the bird. So
Yeah.
it was a good plan.
I was kind of scared of it working though too, because I was like, "Oh no, Tassia's the one holding the rope. I'm not gonna be able to hold this bird."
I will not be able to hold this bird. Oh.
The rest of you see Miles as the captain slumps out from beneath the creature, standing up, breathing heavily. Miles wanders up to the creature, summons his blade, and then plunges it, putting it out of its misery. You can see lightning crackle around for a moment, and into him. The rain continues to fall. Those of you on the other side, Rue and Echo, you turn to see the crowd, and you can see, sort of as a few of you meet, Commander Gaius' eyes. You can see an element of frustration as he tosses in anger his helmet into the river, turns and wanders away. Followed by the rest of his 7 captains.
You got a little quiet there for me, James.
Did I go quiet for everyone else?
You were
Yeah.
you were cutting in and out a bit, and
Yep.
yeah.
I'm sorry, let me try that again. Where did I end up going quiet at? The beginning?
It was kind of in and out, so
Yeah, all of it.
Right,
Yeah.
you see Miles step up to the
don't want to interrupt.
the dying rock, plunge his blade into it as the lightning crackles up his length and into him, as he almost has a momentary fit as it does so. Nonetheless, he withdraws the blade with breathing heavily. The captain himself rolls himself up from beneath the creature and steadies himself both on the beam and with the spear. Those of you on the eastern side of the actual stone rock of Estor peer off to the east, seeing the crowd now gathered, lights and torches flickering. And those of you, perhaps Echo and Rube, see the Commander Gaius stand, still standing, just frustratedly toss his helmet into the rivers below, turn on his heels and begin walking away, trailed by his 7 captains. What would you all like to do?
Can I
waves it
see
in
if I
form.
can tell what just happened with Miles? And him absorbing lightning.
You can certainly ask him. But
So
nothing instinctively that you're familiar with. Looks like
So,
he just stabbed the bird and got electrified.
you
My hair is
absorbing
very much
electricity
standing
now?
straight up right now.
Um,
Well, I stabbed it, and I got a bit of a nasty shock. So it's maybe good I was doing the whole ranged thing.
just making sure it's dead then, I guess?
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing nearly killed me in less than 2 seconds.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair.
So, what was this big bird, and do I need to be on the lookout for more of it when I am on this apparently endlessly horrible island?
I'd say this is a sign that the Titans view us as a threat. And I also suggest that we all rest. And I'll go to Captain Kadibus' side and just tend to him. I don't have any magic left, but I'm going to try to tend to him however I can.
Sure. What are the rest of you doing at this point in time?
Oh, yikes. Caesarea at this point doesn't feel like she's going to be getting a solid, proper rest, so she is just kind of pacing a bit around the pillar in the middle, but is otherwise very much just watching now, because where else can the threats come from? The rock itself? Maybe. But so yes, she'll just be agitated.
Yeah, Tassia's gonna try to get her rope back with that
yeah.
arrow.
Yeah, it super really didn't work. I'm hoping in the future I can get something like that to work. Not my
Yeah.
day, the rain, probably.
You know that
Guys,
my original plan wasn't to have you teleport up there, but I mean, I didn't think it was gonna work either way.
Yeah, hey,
I
well,
love the mental image of you like tying a rope to an arrow, getting ready to shoot it. You're like, here, you're strong, hold the other end, and then she just teleports up there herself.
Like,
oh, this works too.
I believe in you.
That's fine, but alright.
You look pretty strong. You could have held the other end of the rope. I think so. Do not worry. But,
Fly had it worked, so I'm glad we didn't. Glad it didn't. I'm glad it didn't.
James, was Gaios upriver or downriver from us?
Upriver.
So his helmet's floating towards us.
Yeah, you can roll a perception check to try and find it or spot it in the river.
Did you say perception? Sorry, you cut out
Perception,
for a sec.
yes, yeah, I'm sorry. Perception check to try and spot it if that's what you wanted to do.
My legendary perception
Yeah, as you turn to
plus 0. Oh, that's not bad.
Captain Cadavis, you see he's got several like slashes across his wounds. You try and close them or bring something up to staunch the bleeding. As he presses down onto it, he just like hisses in pain and then just waves you off. He just says, "Thank you, but I think I have it." As he like rests. Do you think that was the
Sorry.
last of them all?
I'll show him the severe rope burns that I have and why I cannot do anything.
Yeah, Tassa, you managed to gather up the rope, and it is quite slick, and perhaps twice its weight just from the rain. As like the heavy rope is coiled once more. Vander and Rue, anything you'd like to do? Rue, you can roll me a survival check actually as you look over the two bodies, one chained, the other like floating, of the enormous basilisk and rock respectively. You know what both of them are, Rue. You know what a rock is, and anyone can roll me a
We're on
nature
one.
check if you'd like to know anything further. Yeah, Miles, you see like just for a brief moment at the edge of this slick river. Something flash and like smack into the rock of Estor, continue floating down past.
Yeah, I didn't think this through. I have no way of retrieving that.
There an arrow with a rope on it?
I have an arrow with a rope. Should I shoot? Point it out to me. I'll shoot at it.
Oh yeah. Hey, if you could shoot that helmet and like reel it back in like extreme fishing, you could use it as a trophy.
I'll try. Or is that just a regular attack against a helmet?
Yeah, I mean it's in the rain with heavy slick rope against a helmet that's bobbing in the water, so I'm going to give you disadvantage. I'm going to give it like an AC of 13. But yeah, you have a single. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Go.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, Zach, you're still really robot-y for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zach has been like really slow, so whenever he laughs, it sounds super ominous.
I know.
I'll try and fix it real quick.
It's not a. Oh, I kind of like it. It's very max headroom. Oh no, I'm old.
Yeah.
it took me a minute to unmute and say, I'm sorry I didn't get your old man reference, sir. Please go on.
Oh no.
Yeah, Rue, you can roll a. Oh, anyone can roll a knowledge nature check on these creatures. And Rue and Van, Zach, are you back to not being a robot, or how are you doing?
Does it sound okay, or is it still pretty robot?
It's
pretty
okay.
robot-y.
I think we just gotta live with it.
It's discernible
It's
though.
not bad.
That's alright.
It's
Yeah.
just, you sort of talk like the normal.
Alright, I'll just talk at like 2.5 speed, and we'll go from there. It'll be good.
God.
It sounds like a voice modulator.
Actually, that was pretty good.
It's pretty good. That was.
Yeah, just keep.
I
Almost
can't
like-
fuck that up.
Did you guys ever have that thing in like second grade where everybody thought it was cool to like talk directly into the fan and you start sounding exactly like Zach does right now?
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Rue has a -1 to nature. What am I rolling exactly? Am I rolling nature? or
Anyone
survival?
with knowledge nature can roll a
Okay.
knowledge
Oh.
nature check.
Sure.
Ewer, what the heck?
Ooh, boy.
Tasia MVP.
I keep rolling so well. I feel like my luck is gonna run out so bad at some point. Like, ooh. It's gonna come back and bite me hard.
And yeah, as a survival check as well, if people wanted. As you reel it.
Me?
Anyone. Tasia, you managed to like draw back, fire, and hit the helmet dead on, piercing through just with the sharpness of the arrow into the helmet itself. Obviously not a very good helmet.
Reel it back in.
As you reel in the bronze helm. Yeah, you can see it has the blue plume of the Order of Sidon as you lift up the bronze helm that seems to have been enamelled with silver. It's now got a hole in it. And is
You have a
dark
question.
Sure.
How much do we know about Gaius? Like, had Vander and I interacted with him at all, or any of the...
Tasia hasn't. You are aware that he was once a soldier in Mitros. That's probably it. And that he is a Dragonlord. Or
So they don't know how much he wicked sucks.
that's probably it. Just rumors. Rue and Vander, are you guys doing anything in particular at this point in time?
I will at some point try and get a second with Tasia during this rest period and just say to her, so what do you think of these interesting...
I think. Sorry. As you're speaking to Tasia. A little bit.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Rue, I might get what you're doing. I might get survival checks from everyone, and then we might take a 5-minute break and see if we can sort out these connection issues.
Because GLaDOS over here is freaking.
I was just gonna say, it sounds like when you're on a date and you've had too much to drink. So.
How is everyone doing?
He's punch drunk. Rue.
Rue's not doing anything interesting.
Rue's not doing
He's scratching his back against the metal pole and looking up into the sky.
Alright.
Caesarea will help scratch his back if she sees him doing it. She'll use the claws.
And everyone who's proficient in survival can make a survival check.
Cool.
And we'll meet back in 10. I'll be here.
Oof.
My rolls today. My rolls.
X in chat when we're back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just realized I'm not trained in nature, so...
As we return to the rock of Estor, you can see now the crowd around you with the death of the great bird having fallen. The crowd begin to clap and applaud as you hear cheers from the townsfolk at the grand deed that you had just completed. As you gaze towards the spectres of people, still very early in the morning, nonetheless, wide eyes and thankful applause greets you as you see the two gods continue to stand along the side, the banks. You can see like as all of you sort of rise up, and each of you appear to be alive. Pythor like turns, picks his daughter up into a bear hug, and then drops her into the ground. And you can just hear him like shout a war cry outwards.
I'm watching Vander. How horny does he look right now?
Dude.
dude.
I'm gonna
Enough
need
said.
to sit down for a while. Can't get up for the next 30 seconds. No. What was I going to say? Oh, survival check. Yeah, unfortunately the 19 won't count because you are not proficient in nature. So anyone proficient... Is it just Azira who's proficient in survival in the party?
If that's your sole survival roll, that's not good, lads. That's not good. Oof.
Our ranger
Where's our
disappeared
ranger?
into a collapsing tomb, my man. I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
It is me. I know nothing about this land, but I am your only survival skills. Okay.
In that case, you're welcome. Anyone is welcome to roll a disadvantage, a survival check.
Oh hell yeah! I love rolling at disadvantage. Let's go.
I bet you'll get higher than a 4.
I don't know, girl. I have a 0 modifier.
How did you
That is
go? You
technically
doubled
higher
mine.
than a 4.
Survival or nature, or just survival?
Just survival.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. The
Oh,
new beast
yeah.
did not get higher than my 4.
Good.
Fuck it up, Vander.
Yep.
Negative 1
That's on
survival.
brand.
Hell yeah.
That's
My
on brand.
man.
Oh, that was quickly, but
Yep.
It is an enormous, what would the term be? Fallen body that you have before you, and that you must remain by until the light of dawn comes. Rue, you're the only one who knows even the slightest bit about the creature, and you're only briefly reminded as you see its gizzard is open out, thanks to the wounds granted to it. You do, however, know that the gizzard of a rock is a highly prized delicacy in many places, and can often be the central sort of dish at a noble or royal banquet. No, you don't know that, but you know it's tasty as hell. Perhaps the tastiest part of most birds.
Who knows everything about noble banquets?
No.
He's the toast of the town.
Yep.
Yes. Be nice to him. He is.
Okay, I'll point that out to Cesara, and I'll say we always had hunters come into the forest looking for rocks. They always left most of the carcass behind, which was good eating, except for the gizzard. So maybe it's worth something. You reckon you could get it out?
I mean, yeah, they would definitely hunt. Actually, yeah, you generally know that they're definitely hunted, and parts of them are particularly prized, but you just noticed that the gizzard was one part that was consistently taken. But yeah, I think, yeah, that's all you know, but you know definitely parts of it. Most of you would know that from both of these creatures, a discerning eye would be able to harvest them appropriately. Sorry, Vander, you wanted to speak with Tassia for a moment? I guess, yeah, you all managed to sort of... You'll get another short rest, effectively, as you wait for dawn
Oh
to
yeah.
come.
Oh, my shit's back. I love being a warlock.
And the sun slowly begins to creep, or the night slowly begins to creep towards the day.
I will hum a song of rest so everyone can heal a little better. And
If they
before
spend
their
any time.
conversation
Yep.
or during, I'm going to go to my people who I've been very cruel to the past few days, and I'm going to give each of them a very affectionate palm to the cheek, kiss on the forehead. I mean, it's harder for Zazira, but
And
Oh well, she's
I know.
leaning down and just like full hugging Echo. Like, oh, that is very sweet. Okay.
I'm just gonna
Big hug.
say sorry without saying sorry.
and that's a D6 with Song of Rest. Okay.
You're going to have to crouch.
He's like
Yeah.
solid.
Ah, fuck it, why not?
God, y'all still got hit dice over there. Oh hell.
It's my last one, but who knows what's gonna happen in the next.
Bring it
Ow.
on, let's go! I'm still ready, I still have 40 hit points. Shit.
I don't know why I'm surprised every time. Like
Every time. It's all
So
she's built
much
for
help.
is to stand around and get hit. Oh my
But yeah, Vander, you as Echo was tending to those who were on the rock before you and Tassie arrived, you have a moment of privacy between yourself and her.
Yeah, Van will just saddle up and quietly say, "So, what do you think of these interesting people?"
Oh, well, I think you said it right there. They're interesting. And they have similar goals. So I don't really know what else to think of them at this point.
Yeah, one of them turned into a frog and then a bear, and others are teleporting and walking on blue fire, and it's kind of
Yeah,
amazing, but I'm a little shell-shocked, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I'm probably still in shock a little bit. You know, let me just say it's a lot easier to make plans and have them work, or at least be prepared for when they fail, when you're just planning for yourself. Because when other people's are involved, so many other things can go wrong that I just can't think about when I'm planning it. I really thought that I was going to be yanked off of this rock by a rock, and probably end up in the water. Luckily, that didn't happen. But yeah, I was not planning for that at all. So I'm glad it didn't happen.
You impressed me out there. I took you for more of a, different set of skills, but you did really good.
Thank you. I am pretty skilled in tripping people up, generally, not necessarily beasts, but it seemed to work out here as well.
Yeah, it worked all right. I guess we're alive for now, right?
Always a good thing. And yeah, I guess anything stand out in particular to you other than all the strange, fantastical things he kind of seems they're able to do?
You can see Van sort of like get a little nervous, tense up a little bit. So, I don't know if I was clear about this before. Would you mind not mentioning that one thing that the
Oh, yeah. I won't. Probably. We'll see.
I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. She'll kind of pat him on the back before joining the rest of the group. Just don't piss me off. And then she'll kind of like wink at him and walk to the rest of them.
Van like
So,
smiles back and then turns to the water and is like, "Oh boy, a little bit of sweat."
Just a single bead of sweat, like.
As they return
So
to the
Miles,
group, I'm
next
just
time
gonna
we are
sort of-
fighting.
I
You
was
go.
just
There
gonna
you
look
go.
up and to say, so, do you know this rock's not that big, right?
Hey, we said all good things. Mostly.
Oh, no.
Miles, you were listening? I was trying to talk to you about how next time that we fight a big bird, I can just throw you at it. Think that
Oh
there
my
was a
God.
whole thing.
I was thinking the exact same thing, and then you just
Well,
teleported
clearly-
up there all by yourself.
Well, yes, I couldn't bring you with me if I was going to do, the big jump. So,
We'll figure out how to do that myself at some point, probably.
or I can just throw you. It is not so hard. You are probably like a. I don't know. You
Oh,
weigh
I
less
weigh
than a
like
cub, I think so.
Yeah, I'll weigh like 20 pounds, wet.
You need to be fed more. Okay. But no, you two and Captain New as well, all fought quite well, given the circumstances we have been up against today, so.
Let's not get carried
that.
away. You two fought very well.
You saved our asses. So thank you.
Captain, you were also here.
Hey, he did a very good job. You know what, Miles? He hit things about as much as you hit things most of the time.
I would be lying if I said I do not look forward to getting off this rock. He glances. But you have done two great things today. You saved my life. And you saved the life of this city.
You were a part of that. That is definitely a we. You're stranded on this rock as much as the rest of us, so.
I pledged my life to die for the city. You did not. I think your sacrifice would have been far greater than my own. Thankfully, it didn't come to that. As he looks over, it's at this point, the light of dawn begins to crest to the east. Above the palace, beyond. The light that gleams down seems similar to that of the blue flame and fire that you had seen in the dream, but now it beams with a radiance of sunlight that seems to almost wash the dark clouds away. As it beams across, you look to the west bank and see the centaurs that stood at attention. With the rising of the sun, the oath and sacrifice had been fulfilled, and they turn one by one. The largest of them stands for a moment, as you'll see, and he raises a spear in salute and returns to their grand war camp.
I moon him.
Cesare fucking just picks him up and flips him back around the right way. Do not. Last thing we need.
Your pants came off there for a minute.
Oh, wearing pants.
Dylan.
With that, the captain sort of motions. Now we can finally leave. And he doesn't take a moment to even steady himself. He just slips up and begins carefully making his way back to the shore. With the rising of the dawn, you can hear a renewed sort of cheer amongst the townspeople. You see Pythor raise two hands, like a sort of victorious wrestler, and begin almost leading the crowd up towards the palace as they begin streaming away.
Let us go then. Back at
Out of
it.
character. Sorry. Did we get the rock bits?
I was gonna say, Cesare, I had put in the chat, Cesare will absolutely, if Rue was like, that's a gizzard, and it's, it's probably something good, Cesare would have tried to just, yoink.
Yeah, it's about 17 pounds of meat and flesh that you managed to carve out of the creature that's just dripping down as your trophy.
Woo!
Gross.
You're welcome to take other parts of the creature as well, but you just know that has a particular use. Nonetheless, I imagine...
One feather is about as big as I am, so I'm gonna pass.
Cesare will carry any trophies that are wanted, but just back to shore eventually. It'll be somebody else's responsibility.
More, does Tisea still have Gaius's helmet?
Yes?
Yeah.
We planning on hanging on to that?
I don't know. I mean, I'm planning on figuring out whose fault, that
My
we're on
fault,
that
yeah.
island. I know it's your fault that we specifically are, but just in general, this whole sacrifice thing. Because if it happens to be the angry man who threw his helmet in the water, we might have some fun doing things to his helmet and making sure it finds its way back to him.
I'm gonna like you. Perfect. You deserve it. You earned it. You killed the bird.
Well, sort of. I hit it twice.
Yeah, and you definitely did kill it. Like, it is dead.
So did the rest of us. Maybe some of us hit it a couple more times, and maybe some of us hit it a couple less times. But the point is, we hit it until it stopped. That's what fighting is.
Thank you, Miles, for the lesson. It is a good one.
Did
I mean,
say that
technically
helmet
you
belonged
killed it,
to
Miles.
Giles?
Oh no, it was super dead when I stabbed it.
Well, it shot you again. That seems kind of alive.
As you make it to the
I
other
don't even think I know who is.
Sorry,
Because I
go on.
heard Vander say, like, is that Gaius' helmet? And do I even know who that is? Because in which case, like at this point, did I know it was Gaius' helmet?
Say no. You
Okay.
Miles just
So it's
pointed
just a
at
random
a
dude's
helmet
helmet.
floating down. Yep, and you grabbed it for him.
Then Van probably wouldn't know either.
As you make it to the other side of the shore, you can see Captain Cadavis almost like collapses. The princess like rushes towards him, lifts him up. He tries to wave her away, hear him whisper something, and she like laughs, shakes her head, and almost like lifts him off his feet with a preternatural strength that sort of reminds you that she's still the daughter of a demigod, a god. And sort of like carries him to the shore. At the same time, Kara comes down and like with a beaming smile, hands like wide and open, and with a squeal just goes, "Not one, but two monsters! That was awesome!" It was a little bit rainy, so I didn't get to record it down on my scrolls, but I have the tablets here if you want to check it out. She like throws a few tablets. And you two! And she like points at Vander and Tassia. I need to thank you. You helped me keep my oath. I am Calliope. And she like looks at the rest of you and then looks back at them.
Yep, that she is.
Definitely, for sure.
The woman before you is perhaps a woman in her young 20s. I'm imagining her played by Zoe Deschanel for some reason. Probably because I've been watching a lot of New Girl recently. With golden eyes and
You're so right. Oh no.
stacks of what were the just papers and flailing what's that be? Free sheets of papyrus. Nonetheless, she has an impish sort of grin about her that sort of belays the sort of gravity of the moment of the sacrifice fulfilled, the Sidon. Oh, and she just like proffers a little half curtsy, half bow, and just says, "Poet laureate of Mitros. You've probably heard of me."
Of course. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, I gotta say, big fan of your music.
And I'm a big
pretty
fan of how you murder giant beasties. Although I would. Although she says, although I would prefer names, it's a bit difficult to write strapping young lad.
My name is Vander of Ecthera.
And the gorgeous trickster with a knack for a blade?
Tassia. Just Tassia is probably the best way to write it. I think some of my other reputations aren't as kind.
Well, we'll soon see how that works out. Anyway, she says something witty, and then like turns to the rest of you. You all look terrible, exhausted, tired, bedraggled.
You've got one more in you. I know it.
More?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
We've had
one
a
more.
different forest.
Yeah, I can feel it coming. Exasperated, perhaps.
Hideous.
No, she's exasperated.
Enervated.
Knackered. Dragged through the shitter.
De-energized, yeah.
All of those, yeah.
And
This is
No, but she just speaks up. Pythor's already rushing up to the palace to celebrate, but it seems like you could use some rest. You all look almost dead on your feet.
Quick question, Calliope, before we do be going anywhere. Was the unconsciousness bit planned? Was that something somebody could have sort of mentioned that we were going to, conk out for however long?
I thought it a bit strange that you all decided to take a nap.
Good, okay. Not expected. But,
I just
Yeah.
managed to forget about that.
Very convenient.
And she turns to you, Rue, and says, I think something's different about you. She, taps her foot for a while. I think you look better with your hair down. And then she, turns and she's walking onwards.
Um,
It's at this point the princess and the captain sort of hobble over towards you. The princess looks over at the two newcomers and just introduces herself as Princess Enora of Estoria, son of King Pythor. She just looks over at the two of you and just says, "Thank you. If it weren't for you, the captain would have fallen, and I'm afraid so too were those who had come to save the city. You are equal saviors, and I'm grateful."
I'm not good at this whole hero thing. Vander, you take this on.
You're so very welcome. So you're the king's daughter.
I am.
Can we get a chair for him? He might swoon.
That's amazing. Well, anything we can do to help, of course. We're happy to.
I need to get the captain his rest. I'm heading back up to the palace, if you'd come with me. Your rooms, I think, are still prepared, and I can prepare 2 more for the both of you.
Thank you.
That would be great. Thanks.
The captain speaks up as he turns to you. She was the one who was to be sacrificed. If it weren't for you, you saved her life as well. Even if she won't admit it, she is relieved. And they begin heading up to the palace. What would you all like to do? As you move along, many of the city folk of Astoria have paused and cheer along the way, as you can hear them sort of mumbling, and already the beginnings of grand rumours, tales and stories being twisted and formed at the sight of each of you, as your small sort of procession that's already been led ahead by Pythor into the palace. Kyra seems to have disappeared into the crowd somewhere, unseen, but you have obviously the day to sleep, rest, recover, psychologically and physically. And of course, as you return to the palace, the Horn of Belmitria lay in your room, deposited safely by Kyra. Cesara?
Hell yeah. She will definitely, assuming when we get back to our chambers, if we're preparing to absolutely pass out because we've been up for a solid Andrew's worth of time at this point, she will definitely demonstrate, be like, and yes, this is the horn, which is normally on my back, but did get left behind.
Brain's
for,
so broken.
Dying purposes. But yeah. She just kind of has it on the side of her bed, just hanging out, that is it. Also,
So if we
I was just gonna
Go
ask, what does it look like? The horn. Don't say horny, please.
damn you.
Beat him to the punch. Hold on, do we have a pic of it?
Oh yeah, there's an entry on the Roll20, I think.
There is. It's under items handout. Item handouts.
It's a fantasy fog machine.
It is not a fantasy fog machine he's full of.
Fancy.
100% is.
Sorry, I'm just going to reload before I can show it to players. But yes, you see the gleaming sort of silver and bone horn that seems inlaid with bronze metal and rather sort of ornate carvings before you. It is a grand relic from the time of the Dragonlords themselves. It certainly seems to exude a reverent magic that matches that.
The actual horn of Balmitria, that's incredible. I heard all the stories growing up of the Dragonlords, and it's amazing.
You think that's incredible? It makes booze.
It does.
That's the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Better than any of the stories. Someday we'll have to sit down and tell me some of the Dragonlord stories, because most of the time they just sort of get referenced all around. I am not from here, so I do not know them. And everybody just sort of implies like, oh, the one where X, Y, or Z battle was fought, and I'm like, I don't. But between you and Echo, I will learn them, I suppose.
They're just probably exaggerated, or as stories tend to get. But I'd be happy to tell you everything I know. I was a dreamer as a kid and kind of lived in that world for a very long time.
It's a good thing to be.
Yeah, I just know the general, so you should probably just get the information from Vander.
Well, then you can sit and learn with me, because clearly we are dealing with the false shitty ones like Jackass Gaios, so yeah. Better to know.
So that's who it was. Gaios. Dragonlord.
Supposedly.
I'm assuming this is his helmet. What's his deal with you guys? Why was he so pissed?
Well,
clearly not your friend.
No, he's a massive shitbag, and
he just
serves
wicked
the
sucks.
Titans.
He sucks so hard,
Yeah.
man.
Normally people don't celebrate or get angry when they wanted people to die, and they didn't. I said that very poorly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the way you describe it, that sounds like a perfectly valid reason to get angry.
He's angry when we didn't die. Generally people celebrate life. It's a little...
There's something to be said about honor among thieves, wouldn't you say? I'd recommend...
Yeah, speaking of, Tisea, you wouldn't happen to be a friend of Autolycus, would you?
Oh. Never heard of the name? Right?
I believe you. No. Oh my god, never mind. I thought I DM'd you. I'm an idiot. Okay, never mind. Ignore me.
It's okay. I was like, am I missing something? Oh no.
No, I'm just a dumbass.
I will pat Rue on the shoulder and I will go to rest.
Rue,
I will, of course, not do it in an awkward way. I'm gonna leave acknowledgement of the other people. I'm not just like, bye.
Bye. No. Rue, are you feeling okay? Also, have you tried to drink anything?
Tip top. I assume I've had some water at this point. On our way back to not dying on the rock.
Oh yeah, it was the last night of the wine festival. You were offered a lot of free drinks in your walk upwards of mulled and cold wine. And water. All the Coke was water.
But it
Rue will shrug and say, "Yeah, absolutely fine."
doesn't hurt or anything.
Does what hurt?
The the all of this.
No, it's fine. But I really should go see Old Man Alchemist about it at some point. I'm just gonna have a nap first, and I hope that we've passed one of Rue's favorite trees at this point, because he never sleeps in the palace. But yeah, he seems completely in denial of the fact that A, he died, and B, now his throat is comprised of fire.
Yeah, it's still quite early in the morning, but you do find a shady tree enough to keep the sun off you. As you head outside, you actually hear the roar of several dragons, and suddenly feel like the wing beats and air thud as you see several of them like rise up. And you see like beneath their scintillating bellies and wings heading towards the west. Yeah, they just disappear.
Is that the fake Dragonlords?
Yeah, yep.
Fucking off?
Yeah, you recognize them as the dragons of the fake Dragonlords. Yeah, Vanna and Tassia. You see before you the horn that was promised to provide some answers to what
So-
you sought.
You're going first, right?
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, so what do we do? Do we put it on
It's
my
me.
head or drink from it or?
No, you got it right in the first try.
No. Oh, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him and stuff him into the
Very
horn.
well.
But
Okay.
but no, it will,
Yeah.
I'm going
It's,
to one of these days.
I don't feel anything.
But so we are going to have it sort of create the bounty, all of the things. Like Miles said, it makes booze, which is actually very good, surprisingly.
Very cool.
And then when you drink it, so it's a sort of both of you, and then you fall asleep, and then you water sleep. So this is not so bad.
Okay, and it was dangerous for all of you?
Oh, not at all. Best sleep I've ever had in my life.
Not
Not the reason you passed out.
That
Tied
was
to
a
the
different
no.
nap. Entirely different
That was a
nap that took
different
place
time.
roughly a week apart from one another.
Okay. That's pretty. It's pretty good time.
All right.
I will.
Probably not
It gave
related.
about as many answers as the Oracle did, which is to say, nothing direct, but vaguely informative, maybe. Sort of. It's good.
Well-
Good drink though.
Hopefully it'll be more helpful. The Oracle said some strange things. I don't know. She couldn't see our fates very well. Told us to find this horn.
You found it.
All right,
And
well-
you earned it. Actually.
Bottoms up.
Sorry, you managed to speak the command word, and the horn begins to fill from empty with magical wine as it reaches the top. Vander, you take it in your hands, heavy. Manage to like sip. The sort of purplish liquid is perhaps the most sweet and perfectly tart wine you've had. It seems to satisfy and also provide a sort of tingling inebriation. Tassia, as you do the same, you feel the same as a warmth and just a general sort of comfort washes over you.
Quickly, before she
Oh
before
yes.
she takes a step, she's gonna take the helmet and carve like an insult in the back, and hand it to Miles and say like, rub it in something that smells like garbage, and then I'll try to figure out how to give it back to him later. Probably sneak it into like a saddlebag or something.
Nice.
I'm short on time, or else I would have come up with something better. But if I'm about to pass out for a while.
Ooh, this stuff is great. You gotta try this, Dacia.
Oh boy, here we go. She'll be like, all right, start drinking as well.
Yeah. Those of you who have taken the wine before, you know the sort of warmth and feeling of comfort that it sort of brings when you first drink from it. As you drink, a drowsiness begins to come over the both of you. Those of you who have not drunk from it can see it sort of seeping into them. Their lids growing heavier and heavier until they both sort of collapse into somewhat of the nearby beds or couches or whatever sort of soft sort of thing to sleep or rest upon or recline upon nearby. And sleep begins to take you both. I'm just going to need to reload for a moment. Vander. As you rest, your eyes open once more amongst the cold. You stand at the foot of a grand mountain. Its peak rises far beyond what the eye can see. Shrouded in cloud and ice, it stands as a monument to fate, to destiny. It stands a granite challenge to all who dare gaze upon it. At its base lay a mountain of bones, the remnants of those who have come before and failed. But the mountain must be conquered. A voice rumbles in your mind, a voice that resonates with the elements of eternity. Conquer! As the mountain rises before you and offers an impossible challenge, you feel yourself compelled. But a choice lays before you. Do you climb to its height, rising above all others and embracing the challenge itself, ascending to the pinnacle of your potential, an inspiration and exemplar to all, that by mighty deed and perseverance virtue itself may stand tall? Or do you march through it, tunneling through an endless mountain, marching through the challenge, ever on to the next one? For you will not be defined by a single deed, a single impossible act, but by many, forever fueled by the glory that it brings. Or do you lift it? For it is not glory or success or virtue that you seek, not privilege, nor past, but strength. For it is not simply enough to conquer the unconquerable, but to become the unconquerable mountain yourself. Do you climb to virtue, strive to glory, or conquer through strength? For that which you conquer by, shall you conquer for.
So, just so I'm understanding, the three options were climb the mountain, sort of like burrow through it, and what was the third one?
Climb, tunnel through, or lift.
And sort of like become the mountain. I think Van would lift.
You march to the base of the mountain, and the bones seem to form into the spectres of those who had come before and failed, those who have come before and stumbled at the final challenge. You sit at the foot, peering up to a peak that cannot be seen, and you plant yourself, unmoving and staunch. You feel your hands bury deep into the earth, and you begin to lift. And the vision begins to fade as you feel strength fill you. As you see that as you lift, you do not lift alone. Tassia. You stand amongst a sea of stars, each shining with a blue light. As you walk amongst them, Tassia, you begin to realize that you stand upon the ocean of remembrance and potential. each light a fading spark of what was and what could be. And then you hear him, in your mind, resonant like a warm memory, the voice of eternity. Close and far it speaks. Fates forged and fates to be, loom, weave, and tapestry. The sapphire stars begin to orbit and swirl, like a miasma of destiny and fortune, knowledge and history, and they begin to coalesce as three paths are set before you. The first path is past. The path that must be taken, for only with the knowledge of the past can the present be understood. Only with the acceptance of what has been can we truly begin to move forward. But another path beckons. The second is the present, the path that must be taken, for only when we accept who we are can we grow into what we must be. Only when we free ourselves from the distractions of what has been and what is to come can we instead focus on what is right. But a third path beckons. The third and last is the future. For in the future lies true potential. In the future lies hope. And it is only in hope that you shall have the courage to let go of what you know and embrace what you do not. Past, present, and future. What path do you take?
I thought I muted myself. She takes the future path.
You take a single step towards the path, the two others fading as you walk. But as you walk, as you step, the path begins to fall out beneath. And it is on the emptiness of space that you continue to travel. And the vision fades. Vander, you sense a challenge placed before you as you wake. A challenge that cannot be faced with strength alone. But it is with strength that you must face it. You see a vision of a grand creature, dangerous and hissing. It looms like a dark shadow over everything. And you hear the voice of your mother cry out as you see the wings of the creature enfold her into shadow. Tassia, as you stand on the empty path, you begin to hear a laugh, a tinkle, a mocking. Voices that seem to detract, whispers that speak your doom. But before you, you see a wide spinning loom, etching outwards. You see fingers weaving, and you see threads being spun. One rushes towards you and places itself, and it writes. It does not write simply with thread, but with light and shadow and magic itself. It speaks out. To confront fate, you must first meet them. You both fall, or find the sense of falling. Before you land, in a small golden garden, idyllic. You can hear the sounds of far nature echoing out, and before you sat upon a golden throne is a woman, ensconced in perfect light. You sense a comforting hand reach out towards you, and you hear a voice speak. I do not know you. but I seek you. I will always be watching over you. Accept my gifts, and do not stray from your path. You see both hands open out, and two orbs of light reach towards the both of you, glowing and humming. You need only take them.
Cassie will
Van,
reach out and grab it. Sorry. Go ahead.
You could. Yeah, Van will do the same. He'll say, "I accept," and take it.
As each of you accept, taking out, reaching the light and accepting, you fall once more into a deep and restful slumber. And all of you have a long rest. Awaking to the sounds of raucous festivity, as you realize a grand party now resonates throughout the palace. What
Fuck yeah.
would you all like to do? Vanda and Tassia. You wake and feel yourself invigorated. And I'm just going to chuck up your abilities into your character sheets.
So fun.
Also, you two passed out in the same room, right?
Yeah.
I assume so.
Probably.
Tassia, when you come to, Vander is sporting a beautiful black paint goatee and spectacles.
Cesira had intended to like be the supervisor here and then probably like immediately passed out on the floor nearby, so she'll also be seeing and be like, I should have tried to stay awake. Whoops.
They should now be on your character sheets.
Wait.
Ooh.
Ooh!
Oh, that's cool.
Yo, both of these are so cool.
Can smite through us.
That's crazy.
She can cut magic in half.
What?
Damn.
That's so cool. Oh my god.
Keep clicking out of it by accident because the little video chat's like right here and I'm trying to read to say his cool power.
That's sweet. That's super cool.
Both
Yeah.
of those are so awesome.
As you awake, the two of you feel invigorated with new power. But certainly the rest of you awake to hear a sort of feast and festivities going on. And the sound of like loud crowds echoing nearby the palace.
Well, how was it? Clearly you two have woken up, so it was not some sort of terrible nightmare. Welcome, and I think we have places to be soon, or at least food to be having, which I am incredibly interested in.
Sort of snap my fingers and I'm in my party clothes.
It is a very handy trick.
Oh yeah, we're going to meet the king today. That means, oh, I don't have nice clothes, but I do want to look my absolute best.
Make sure you brush that hair exactly 100 times on each side. It's very particular.
Okay, 100 on each.
I mean, you did. In a minute. I'm going to go find Rue. Make sure he did not get pushed out of a tree or something. But Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can fuck it up even if you only brush it on 50 sides of the head or whatever, because he did watch you kill a bunch of big stuff literally a few hours ago. So, as much
Yeah,
as he has a
that's
good
true.
side, he'll probably be on it.
Thank you.
Zira's gonna go find Rue.
Rue has come to find Cesira. We awkwardly bump into each other in the.
They meet halfway.
Spirits in the night.
What are we? Hello. What are we doing? Are we finding new quests?
Oh,
We've done the rock now.
Yeah, we did the rock. I guess we're going to eat some food and then I guess we go. Do we leave now, or do we have to stay in the city longer?
I don't know if you're asking me.
I don't know.
Or let's go meet up with the rest of the people.
Let's go. Just nod.
Yeah, and I
Roll their
imagine
way
it's
through.
not too long before you all find yourselves gathered together, and you're tracked down by one of the palace guards, who just says, "Oh, if you are all ready, the king would like to thank you all."
Echo comes behind a little later, like running late. Dressed in something nicer. Fashionably late, yeah, dressed in something nice, but she doesn't look too hot. But she seems in cheery disposition, at least.
When you say you don't look too hot, do you mean you don't look like you look frazzled, or you don't look too hot in that you don't want to distract from the princess too hot?
Again, you mean? No. She still looks hot, but she looks weary.
And just to remind people, we are doing different long rest rules, so you don't automatically get all your health back. You got to roll your hit dice. You can spend.
We can roll ones that we had before the rest, though. Yeah.
Roll the ones you still had left, and then roll the ones you get again.
And how many do you get again during the long rest?
4. Whatever your
So,
level is.
okay. I was at like.
You got 1. Yeah, so I imagine you're all, I assume, heading towards the palace. Not palace, the throne room.
Yeah.
Vander has to make himself presentable first. Chop chop.
Vander, having no idea that his face has anything on it, like probably painstakingly like polishes his shield and like smooths out his cloak, and it's just like, okay, how's the hair? I did 100 on each side.
Looks great. You look good.
Thank you.
Adequate.
Is that how fast human facial hair grows? None of these ones are human, so I don't know. Just staring at the bottom half of your face.
I guess. Yeah. I guess.
Okay.
Oh my god, without Deianira, you're the token human now, Vander.
You're the token human! We have one!
So, Miles, did you get the helmet? You know, properly disgusting.
Suffice it to say, my accommodations now have 2 chamber pots.
Miles.
Do we know if Gaius is attending this party?
Oh, absolutely not. He's super duper not invited.
You know, we could have used my previous lover's helmet for scrying, but if you want to use the chamber pots,
We're level 4. You can cast scrying?
no, not yet. But you know, just a thought.
We could take like a
It's not
feather
as if
from
you
it.
can't wash it out. I mean, used a chamber pot before. They can be cleaned.
I look like I'm about to prestidigitate the chamber or the helmet, but
I
I
don't
look
have
at
it with me.
Wait, I look at Miles, but I prestidigitate Vander's face so that the mustache and everything's cleaned off.
Aww.
I'm not just carrying a helmet with
Shit
halfling
pot
dude.
You're just like, let's go then.
Jesus.
Let us go.
Sorry,
Gross.
then.
I'm not that
Well,
gross.
As much as I want to see Vander meet his wonderful father, my evening plans have been changing as we're playing this game, and I need to bail. I'll see all of you next time. Bye.
Thanks for playing, Ghostly.
Later, Gus.
Hang on, he's your father?
Get out of here! That was fucking out of character.
That was out of
Even
character.
though it sounded like Rue. Oh my god.
What was I going to say? Oh, right. You all trailed towards the throne room, and you can see various festivity goers sort of like stumbling out and like giving a half-hearted cheer and clap and sort of nod towards you as you make your way in. And you find yourselves in the interior of the large throne room which you had been before, now filled with many more individuals, and the smell of wine, as it seems that Pythor has not stopped partying since the success on the rock. Like the moment you enter, you can hear his booming voice say something suitably lascivious, as you see him like smack the bottom of a concubine who giggles and brushes off, and you can see another one sort of over his shoulder as he turns to the rest of you and goes, "You're here!" And he like just drops the woman onto the ground, who seems like entirely drunk, and begins wandering over to the rest of you. The broad-chested but still sort of barrelly stomached man, an enormous beard like trailing down, with a little bit of like wine still causing it to look somewhat damp. He smiles a large grin and just says, "The heroes of the rock! An epithet I am happy to hand down to those who saved my city." And he turns and you can see Enora sort of like with Captain Cadavis sat beside one another, just speaking. "And my daughter. I wish to thank you all, personally." As he looks over and sees you, Tassia, and you, Vander. "And to those who volunteered, who saved the lives of the heroes themselves, my double blessings. Ha! Drink and be merry, for we celebrate the salvation of Estoria through my strength and yours."
Not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna buy it.
Vander's full deer in the headlights. He just looks shell-shocked. He's like,
"Speak! Introduce yourselves to the King of Estoria, the god Pythor." He's like, "Where did I drop that woman?"
Drew's gonna kill this man.
Speaking more directly to like Tassia and Vander, or
Yes,
all of
yeah,
us.
no, he's met everyone else.
He knows
Yeah.
us.
We're
Oh, come on,
homies.
Vander, and introduce yourself.
yeah,
Big
right.
moment.
Mighty Pythor, my name is Vander of Ecthera. It's truly an honor to be in your presence.
Yes, it is. You're a strapping young lad. Ever thought of joining Estoria's military?
It would
No,
be-
this is
it
a
would be
trick.
not-
They do this. They did this at my high school. Don't do it.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
that you would offer is a deep honor. Thank you.
You can just say no, lad. He like slaps you on the arm, and you feel like yourself like pushed to the side. "And you, young lady," and he like grins with like a sort of mischievous eyes. He sort of like begins to praise you for the first time with like a lazy drunkenness.
Tassia. Tassia of Mitros.
Of Mitros. Well, I suppose it's one of the better cities. Thank you both. And if you'd like anything, ask it of King Pythor. And for the rest of you, a reward is in order. 100 gold pieces each. The princess sort of like stands up. The treasury of Estoria runs low, but we easily have enough to bless you. And if you continue to kick the butts of the Titans as you do upon the rock, he sort of like opens his hand and seems to like take a posture. He seems to wait for a moment. You see like Kyra like saunter in, look over you and go, "Oh, you're awake! Fantastic! We still have much to do. Are you celebrating? It looks like you're celebrating."
Hey, you're finally awake.
There's like a crash and like a smashing of something. Something like crashes through the wall just behind behind Kyra, who just manages to duck out at the last second. Something heavy cracks into Pythor's hand as you see a gleaming sort of war hammer. The hammer of Pythor. Unfortunately, with this damned oath of peace, I haven't got to use it much. Besides, I think I'm going to get Vulcan to make me a new one. I think.
Oh my
But he
God,
like
he's Fat Thor.
presents it to you, and it grows in size. This is a gift. You saved what was most precious to me, and so I grant you what is next most precious to me. It is the only other thing of value that can equal my daughter's life. The hammer of Pythor. It doesn't quite have the sheen it used to, but it will definitely get the job done.
Pythor's hierarchy of needs just goes booze, hammer, daughter.
Interchangeable.
Oh shit! Caesarea does dip her head a bit, not for once, not begrudgingly, because clearly he's making a gesture here, and as drunk and vaguely belligerent as he has been in the past times we have met him, at least that's something. But she does not. It is You are welcome, and we are happy that we were both able to not die and to succeed in driving off those forces, the jackasses, and helping the city. So.
Ah, I saw you swing that maul. It was like part of myself was out on the battlefield. You made me feel invigorated, and I've had Kyra preparing a triumph for the city. Just like you said, he points at you, Echo. We will stroll through the streets of Estoria, victorious together.
That's a lovely idea. I'm sure the citizens will be rallied by your gesture.
Our gesture. And he like looks over at Kyra and she just like gives a thumbs up. Our gesture.
My king, I know it's the hour for festivities, but I should mention something that was quite odd to me. Lutheria, she drew us into some sort of realm, and there was some sort of apparition of you there. Quite drained, fatigued, and we did something that seemed to rid you of your presence in that place. I believe that you may have been under her spell in some way, but that's just a bard's suspicion.
He just like scoffs. A god under the spell of a titan. I would never. But I have felt more vigorous and energetic than I ever have before.
What a wonderful coincidence, then. I'm very happy for you, my lord. I will step aside so I get out of this.
Caesarea literally just reaches over and just gives Echo's shoulder a squeeze and is just minutely shaking her head like, who the fuck?
Thank you all again. You have free reign of my palace and my wine. And tomorrow we walk in triumph amongst the streets to inspire them once more. If I cannot war, I will have you war on my behalf. As he like lifts a hand, ready to as if he was like to elicit a cheers or toast to those still in the room once more. A commotion before the doors just beyond occurs, and you see them like almost blast open, and you see
Gaius wants his helmet back.
sort of bloodied, a helmetless Gaius.
Oh no!
And several other captains begin like just striding in. You can see a heavy bag or sack that seems to be dripping something red before him as he like marches into the room. He like drops the sack and empties it, and 3 heads fall out with a heavy thud. Each just doof, doof, doof. You can see each head has like a long sort of tailed mane, deep set, almost like granite-like face. As you realise that they are the heads of 3 centaur lords. He looks out at the rest of the room and says, "Your sacrifice was fulfilled, and so too Sidon's end of the bargain. The warband will trouble Astoria no more, and Sidon's protection comes over this city." He like gazes along the room, and he seems to stop on you, Vander. And he like
Van is staring straight at him.
jaw sets.
Kind of cocked his head a little bit.
This dude in everybody's backstory?
God damn!
And he says, "I should have recognized that cut, soldier."
Gaius, I heard someone say the name, but I just assumed there was more than one in the world.
There is only one who is a commander of Sidon's forces, and a captain of the new Dragonlords. Why do you consort with these monsters? These weaklings? You are far too strong for them.
Well, it's a long story. The Oracle sent us here, and we ended up helping these people.
The Oracle's prophecies are false, and they've lied to the people of Thylia for far too long. I cannot
I'm running
stay.
back to my room while this is happening, by the way.
Sure, like off screen. As he says monsters, he definitely looks over at Cesar and Echo, and just speaks out. Do not consult with liars and false prophets. I offer you this, Vander of Ectheria. I've seen your strength and your value. Join the Dragonlords and become what you are meant to be. Provide your answer, Mitros. We have other business there. He turns to the king. King, our guest, the oath of friendship is done, and I now partake from Astoria. May we meet once more, either on the battlefield or in the feasting hall. He gives like an irreverent, just dismissive nod to the rest of you, and he turns, followed. Bloodied heads still laid on the ground as he departs.
Just before he leaves, Miles comes like clattering back into the room. Oi, Captain! You're out of uniform! And I just chuck his shit-filled helmet at him.
Roll a dexterity check.
Oh, I'm not trying to hit him.
Oh,
I'm
you're not
just
trying to hit
tossing
him?
it to him.
Just
I
tossing
want
it.
him to catch it. I pooped in it.
Yeah, roll a dexterity check. Or a,
Sure.
yeah.
Just straight up down dexterity.
Yeah, just straight up down dexterity.
Nice.
You toss it,
I hit the king.
and it just falls short, like by a couple of feet, and just like splatters as this thing, and it soils the floor as it opens up, leaving a strange stench. It goes like,
It also says Exoleo Amethyst, which means drop dead fool on the back.
he stops, like turns, sees the helmet, with the hole and the inscribed engram and the halfling poop, as you do. And he just sneers.
I promise I'm not usually this gross. It was just too good to pass up.
And he turns back to you, Echo, and as I see the company you keep is suitable, and then turns to you, Ven. Think on my offer, and continues walking. And you can see, like, as he walks off, like, some of it landed on his feet, but he doesn't seem to have noticed. The King Pythor just, like, sniffs. Never liked him anyway. And then looks down. Not the worst thing to have fallen on the palace floor.
Sazira does, before even looking at her, she, like, leans down toward Echo. Do you think if I run fast enough, I can go and bite his fucking head off before he gets to the big dragon he rides around on?
I have no doubts about it, but I rather do like seeing him lose. So if we could continue to do that, that'd be really nice.
You tell me when you change your mind. Anytime.
Should I try to follow them out
Can you follow them out?
and see how far like their dragons are?
Sure. Yeah, if you want to.
Sneakily. Try
Yeah,
not to
roll me
be
a
too
stealth check.
obvious about it.
Yeah, you can like blend in with it. Like there's a decent crowd in the palace itself, so you can sort of like slip through people, the palace and column walls, as you do so. Yeah, he doesn't seem to notice. He and the two captains he was with rather, and you see sort of just beyond the palace itself, in the grand courtyard, a young adult silver dragon. Shimmering in the sunlight that has now come from the beaming down high in the afternoon light, and he mounts, and you can see two other dragons, one blue, the other black.
How close are they?
Probably about 70 feet.
Can I get within 30 feet of them?
You can certainly
Or try to?
try. Yeah, give me another stealth check.
Hiding. Big money, big money. Ooh.
you managed
This
to-
might work.
Slip into the garden itself by passerbys who are all staring wide-eyed at the dragons themselves. The dragons like begin to roar and rumble as if preparing themselves to fly upwards, causing the crowd to almost scatter even
I'm
further
going
than they
to
were before.
cast why am I blanking? Mage Hand.
Mhm.
And wait until he gets on his dragon and then unbuckle his saddle. Like just one of them, just like
Yeah.
unlatch it
Yep. He
so
mounts,
that he'll like fall off or something.
he mounts the dragon. The others of you named Argon. As he gets on, he prepares to fly. You can see the other two captains take off, and as he does, the saddle begins to slip and slides down the edge of the dragon, causing him to tumble and fall on his back as the dragon lifts off.
Does anything fall out of his saddlebags or anything? And can I root through it if not? My Mage Hand.
Well, nothing falls out of his. Nothing falls out of his saddlebags. They're quite secure. They're designed for being flown on with dragons. Nonetheless, he like tumbles, and you can hear like laughing as he goes red-faced. Nonetheless, he grabs the saddle, and a magic seems to exude from him as he like the dragon continues flying onwards, perhaps unawares, but like with the magic, he seems to disappear and reappear with sort of an angry annoyance on the back of his dragon bareback. So he seems to have an ability that allows him to
I
remount.
left the saddle there.
Every time we humiliate Gaius,
no, he's-
James gives him another legendary action.
No. He hefted the shoulder over his shoulder. But
Dang.
I mean, it gives you another opportunity. You can try and sleight of hand, pickpocket something.
Yeah,
from
I was
the
gonna
saddle.
try to take something off him.
Sure.
Possible.
Yeah. You can do that.
Sleight of hand, you said?
Yep.
27. Wow.
You're insane. This is crazy.
Level 4. I don't roll this good at like level 10.
Your mage hand slips in to the bag and pulls something out. Something small, perhaps. I'm an idiot. Sorry, I've just had our recording with 6 people rather than 7. So, like, it's all recording half our faces, but that doesn't matter. And as like it flies off, you pull whatever you found secretly to you, and it reveals a small like signet that's blue, almost sapphire in the center, like a ruby that almost seems like a pupil. You see it; it's the insignia of Sidon, or a medallion or insignia that indicates one is a servant of Sidon. I don't know if I can. I'll try and find Sidon's image. Meanwhile, what would the rest of you like to do for the rest of the evening?
Oh, Cesira is turning to Venner, being like, "So you know the big jackass, then?" Hmm?
Oh, what? Sorry, Van almost like seems to not hear her. Yes, Gaius and I served together in Mitros. I haven't seen him in a very long time. He seems to have only gotten more arrogant.
It is ass.
Was he pleasant to you when you knew him once?
I don't know if pleasant's the word I would use to describe him. He held rank when I was being trained, and so I looked up to him. I respected him, and I heard that he'd become a Dragonlord. Didn't know what to make of that. We weren't close friends or anything, but I respected him and his work, I suppose. Do you all... You seem to know him at least a little bit. He didn't speak very kindly of you.
He's having been here threatening both the entirety of the people of the city, as well as those that dwell within the palace. It is not so great of a thing. Also, he is incredibly insulting, and honestly, I would like to kill him sometime, but that day is not today. Yes, and you know he serves the one of the titans, so aiming to bring about the end of things is not so great.
Yeah, that doesn't sound particularly good to me.
He's
I've cleaned up his helmet, and I sort of come up to them, and I'm like juggling his helmet on my knees like a soccer ball.
he's
Those
an
of you,
example.
those of you who have followed the Dragonlords, have been interested in their myth and legend, and perhaps know a little bit more than others may, are aware that the most recent Dragonlord, other than those who've been re-established now, was from over a century ago. Their name was Nicholas Phobos, and Nicholas was the very last of the Dragonlords before its re-establishment now, having died over a century ago. But in his time, as a gesture of peace and prosperity, he did swear fealty to Sidon.
Who remembers this?
Anyone with general interest in law, so probably just Vander and Echo. Perhaps
Cool.
Tassia, but that's up to Lauren.
Cool. Never mind.
The name was one more time, Nicholas.
Phobos. Phobos. Phobas.
Okay, and Van would recognize the name Phobos as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Most of you would. Rise on Phobos was one of the original Dragonlords.
Yeah.
Gaius is an example of a small boy with high expectations for himself.
Oh, I might have pulled something on their takeoff and got a trophy from it, and she like whips out the signet. Like, I'll forever remember this.
What is that?
You should have seen his face when he fell off his dragon. It was beautiful.
You knocked him off his dragon?
I unbuckled his saddle as he tried to take off.
Oh, that's even better. Did he just slide off the side really slow and then just crumple to the ground?
Yeah, and I also discovered he can just teleport himself back on, but, you know, the more you know.
Oh.
Oh.
What? I stole something from him. That's pretty great.
What?
I
don't think he noticed either.
A delicate hand sort of like grabs your shoulder, Tassia, and yours, Mal, and pulls you both together. As Kyra like interposes herself between the two of you and just says, "We are going to commemorate this moment in eternity. I'm writing a poem, and then making a painting, and then doing a statue. In that order." And then she
Perfect. Make sure you get my good side. Where's Honora? Or
yeah, Princess
the
Honora.
princess.
Yeah, she's in the throne room as well.
I got her name right.
She seems to be doting on the captain, who seems like very uncomfortable and very injured. You can see he's bandaged, and he's just like this. He's obviously not used to being doted on. One, and two, being so the princess being so familiar with him, and Zach's internet's dying.
I was gonna say, poor guy. Oh my god.
I can slip away from my compadres. I'd like to go speak with her.
Yeah, certainly. As you wander up, you can see both the captain and her sort of proffer you a smile, and she speaks up. "I hope you're enjoying the festivities. You've certainly earned it. Thank you again. I cannot speak enough. Not for my life, but for the captain's." The captain just says, "It was my honor to do that," and she just like shakes her head.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that. You mentioned your coffers are a little sparse these days, right?
She nods. "We're bankrupt."
Or as much. Listen,
I haven't troubled my father with the news. When you bring him good news, he likes to drown it away. He's been in better spirits recently, though. I think that might have a little bit to do with yourselves.
like to spread a little levity here and there. Listen, that 100 gold you promised each of us, go ahead and forget mine. But instead, I would ask for a favor from you.
She squints her eyes and just nods. "I'll at least listen to the request."
That is the request. At some point in the future, I'm going to need your help.
An oath of service.
I was thinking more of a one and done sort of favor. I wasn't going quite that extreme, but if you feel the urge, sure.
That is what an oath of service is. It's an oath for one particular act, or like usually it's between cities that says like, if you're attacked, we will fulfill our oath of service and come and aid you, and that's it. similar to an oath of protection, but it's wider and more specific.
An oath of service, then. Does that sound agreeable to you?
It is a grand thing to have the heir to the throne swear to you, but I would not have a life to be able to swear it if it were not for you and your companions. I will agree. I will swear an oath of service. And you can see like the captain's eyes going wide. To yourself and your companions. A single act. At any time. By the fates and the gods, I swear it. There's no magic or anything, but you know that if it is broken, it is the Furies to pay.
One more thing. This is for both of you. Don't tell the others. At least not yet.
She like breathes in, and just says, "It does not do well for a royal to swear in secrecy, but you have lent on the scales just enough that I will do so."
Thank you, Your Majesty. I'll leave you to it. Looks like he could use quite a bit of pampering tonight.
I'm
I'll
fine.
walk away.
Yeah. The rest of the evening is for the most part filled with just raucous jovialities and King sort of rocking back and forth like you'd expect of a superstar or a rock star, just like pointing and telling people to drink more. He seems to have like a bottomless constitution for the drink, permanently hammered, excuse the pun, but never completely blackout drunk. And certainly in the next morning, the triumph is to be held. You're all able to have, or did any of you want to do anything in between?
I think Vander will just watch.
I think Zach, if you can hear us, you've cut out.
Yep.
Frozen.
Zach, Vander will just watch.
Well, what will he
I would
watch?
like
We do not
to
know,
watch.
but he will watch. I would like to watch.
While we're waiting on
Oh no, Echo looked him in the eyes.
Zach.
Sorry, my bad. Whoops.
Oh no, my bee. Whoops.
Shit.
Are the rest of you doing anything in particular? You can either join in the festivities, leave, get fresh air, disguise yourself so as not to be accosted by thankful citizens of the city.
I'm trying to hide the fact that I have the amulet on for the second day in the row. I feel like I really owe it to everyone for them to have fun. So the snakes are kind of like doing, maybe there's like a bit of a shawl over it or something. But towards the end of the evening, Echo is going to find, after she tells Kai about the dream home, she's gonna find like a nice little balcony, and she's gonna start writing kind of like a new tragedy ballad about Gaius. She feels kind of sad that he couldn't have turned out better. Like as much as she likes seeing him lose, I think there's some part of her that, he was the first love of her life, so it's hard for her to see and accept that he is who he is now.
Yeah, and I think Kara, for her part, at least initially, is deeply interested in anything you can recount from the dream realm. And I think at various points in the night, she comes to each of you. That were there. Just waiting for Zach to see if he returns.
I think Passia is probably just pulling little pranks here and there, like just casting minor illusion and making like snakes appear on the ground or something. Just kind of going around seeing how much she can just kind of
Good job,
create a little
Fun.
bit of chaos.
I'm so happy
We
that this
have-
party has more shitheads now.
Far too many pranksters in this party.
Oh my god. They're slowly gonna strangle each of you tiny bastards. Oh my god.
We got Prank Sinatra and Prankalina Franklin. No, wait, is it Aretha Franklin?
Franklin.
Yeah, Aretha Franklin.
You're the Franklin.
Yeah.
Franklin.
Oh my gosh.
Despicable. I think at a certain point, Kara certainly sidles up to both Tassia and Vander at some point and just goes, "So, you were sent by the Oracle. That's news to me."
Yeah. It was kind of a weird situation. Not totally what we expected either when we showed up to meet her. Do you talk with the Oracle often?
She's the one who sent me like a little errand girl to find the rest of them.
No.
Little errand
All we
girl.
got was a letter. So must not have been as special to get our own person.
Perhaps not. Or perhaps you're just special in a different way. Everyone is. Some more than others.
Could be. I
Uh,
guess we'll find out.
She leans in closely and then looks around. And what did the Oracle tell you? I promise I'll only make it public if it's epic.
Then I guess it's not meant for public eye. We didn't get much. In fact, we got nothing. She told us we were fateless.
Now that is interesting. She like leans back, and for the first time, like her wry smile like furrows. She clicks her tongue. I think you're going to need.
I was very disappointed. I have things I need to figure out, and it was very unhelpful, so I'm really hoping that the further we follow this group and the more we find with them, the more answers we'll get.
I think the both of you should need to meet my sister. I will warn you though, she's terribly ugly, afflicted with a horrible curse to look like a terrible monster. Woe to those who have to look upon her visage. But she, as loath I am to admit it, is smarter than me. Still though, come with the blindfold.
So her sister's like guaranteed wicked hot now, right?
It's probably at this point, Vander, she was just asking the two of you who you were. And, like she'd heard that you spoken to the Oracle, and Tassia said that you didn't gain much, so she's confused and saying you should meet her sister.
And this was Calliope?
This was Calliope, yep.
Okay. Of course we could talk to your sister. Is she here in town?
No, she's in Metros. We can visit her afterwards. It seems that the others still have a few labours to do. And if you're interested, well, it seems like you might be along for the ride. It could be helpful. The two of you look like you could be helpful. And not get in the way too much.
I can't make any promises. But hopefully we will be of help.
And she looks over. I imagine there's a few of them still in the room at some point. She just breathes in. I've sworn an oath to protect them. And if I'm being honest, I could probably use a little bit of help in that regard. They don't like being safe, which is part of their charm.
Yeah, they did
the
offer themselves up as a sacrifice.
Anyone worth following around usually does at some point.
So do you just sort of follow interesting people around and write about their lives?
Of course. I'm a poet, a bard, a historian, an artiste.
Sounds like a very interesting life.
I have a large portfolio. In fact, you've probably heard of me. I'm also a musician. Notos, the North Wind. I play in a band. In Mitros.
Come to think of it, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Very famous, until we had to break up recently. But that's another story. She looks around. If any of you play, I'm thinking of reforming one at some point. And she wanders away. I think.
Well, she's an interesting one.
Yes. Very sure of herself, isn't she?
Definitely seems like it. Although I do agree, I think a conversation with her sister might be of use to us. Apparently blindfolded. Not sure how I feel about that part.
Yeah, that was a bit strange. But if the Oracle couldn't help us, this person's sister is going to help us? That doesn't make much sense to me.
I don't know, but I mean, it seems like we might be heading to Mitros anyway, so...
Can't hurt.
Is Echo still brooding, and is she doing it somewhere we can see her?
I mean, you probably saw her leave at some point, but you're not sure where she is. She's taken up a balcony that probably looks out along the river, and you can see actually as dusk is slowly falling, you can see just beyond the warband where they were, tents have gone up in flames, and the warband is mostly dispersed.
She's humming on occasion. She's practicing verses out on this balcony. And yes, she is very much brooding. It's a very broody behavior.
Alright, I go looking for Snake Girl.
Serpent's brood. Sorry, go on.
So you hear occasional humming and then like, no, that's not right. And she's like writing on a little parchment with the quill and everything, sitting on the edge of the balcony.
Oh, there's a party downstairs, right?
She doesn't look up, but the snakes do. Yes, I'm aware. I must not have received an invitation. How unfortunate for me. Indeed.
That's real cute. You're one of the guests of honor and you know it. Why are you hiding?
I thought I would sit out here and be melancholy for a short moment. As one does.
You look paler than usual.
I haven't eaten in 2 days.
But we agreed only 1 day per person.
Well, I am working up a bit of an apology for my behavior the past weeks. I said some very cruel things.
Yeah.
And I thought that you all deserved a break, so...
We all did stupid things the past week. Rue was hiding in a tree. Cesara thought everyone and their brother was coming to kill her. I damn near ate you in a dreamscape. Well, something that looked like me did.
Were we in the same dream? I don't recall that happening. That last bit. Anyhow, if you want the amulets, it's evening, so by all means, feel free to take it from me.
I think you've had enough.
Okay. I will take the amulet off. Give it to him. Question.
Oh, I don't feel so good. I've had a lot of wine.
He probably immediately throws up. After he's done barfing over the side of the railing. One question before I finish. I'm going to leave to brew it somewhere else because you interrupted the process, the artistic process. Do you think it's possible for someone to be redeemed? In the long scheme of things, someone awful. I mean, I'm sure you've been an awful person before. Just as a learning experience, no doubt. So I was just curious if you think it's possible for anyone to come back from that point.
Let you know when I get there.
Same. Suppose I'll do the same.
Yes and no. It depends. I mean, everything. It's the real answer to every question is it depends. We're talking about, shitty ex.
Yes, that Vander fellow is like a striking copy of what he was when we originally met. Heroic, aspirational.
Well, right. Well, maybe let the guy get used to us before you start getting any ideas.
I'm not getting any ideas. I'm just saying I'm saying Gaius was once like that, and now look at him.
I'll tell you he could get back to it, but to be honest with you, I'm gonna murder that man the first chance I get. So.
Well,
I'm not the only one. Cesarea looks like she wants to turn his head into jelly.
then I suppose this was for nothing, and I will just toss the parchment off the side of the balcony. Thanks, Miles.
As always, I'm happy to provide any and all moral epiphanies the members of this party may require.
Yes, you're quite good at that. You look very dapper this evening, by the way. It's nice to have you back.
It feels good.
Alright, I'll let you continue going up.
I don't think we've explained our cursed amulet. Echo took a cursed amulet off of a beggar that you can't eat or drink while you're. Oh no, he died. You can't eat or drink while you're wearing it, and you get a point of exhaustion for every day you wear it consecutively. So we've just been passing it around, but that is why Miles immediately voms, and occasionally one of us has disadvantage on something. So
Okay.
it's a party. Woohoo!
No.
Poor Zach.
I know.
No, it's a rough night.
Yeah.
Yes.
Missing out on all the angst.
Once he gets back, I think I might call the session. Actually, now is probably a good time to call the session. So the festivities continue on throughout the night, unabated, but you will find your moment to rest and continue recuperating as preparations continue to be made for the grand triumph through the streets of Astoria the next day. It is as the next morning comes that we will end the session as you prepare for your next grand labours.
And before Chloe asks in the chat in 10 minutes,
To re-level up.
is it that time?
Didn't
Is it
you
that
say we
time,
level up at the end of every
James?
chapter?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I told you. When you finish your labors.
Right.
When you
That was
finish
the
your
labor.
vegetables, you get
That
to
was
level up.
Your damn broccoli.
Hey, I had a
Yeah.
salad during the session. So.
Anyway, thanks for putting up with all the technical difficulties, everyone. And for playing. For coming along.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
thanks for
yeah.
running. It was fun.
And
It's sad that it's gonna be so long since we play again.
I know. Oh,
are you
bananas.
sure this is our last session before the month break?
To check one more time.
You are going abroad.
Yeah, but I'm going abroad like a 2-ish weeks-ish.
Yeah.
But yeah. What? They don't have the internet abroad. They don't have Discord abroad.
They have very weak Wi-Fi in Serbia. Let me assure you. You know anything about that country?
Have you been? Before?
Not before, but I've
Okay.
had friends.
Fair
And
enough.
my father's in the military, so you get experience there.
Yeah. Most people I know have gone over on like a Kentucky or like just to chill out on the islands. So not exactly big on
An
that.
island, just a little peaceful village away from the body snatchers and drug
Yeah, all that fun stuff.
lords.
All the good stuff.
Yep.
Peaceful
You know,
village.
when you said
Oh.
body snatchers for like 3 seconds, I lived in this beautiful world where human trafficking wasn't a thing.
And
And
we're
aliens were
talking
real.
about aliens, yeah.
Yeah, that would be a much cooler world, honestly.
God, that would be so ideal.
And now I want to know
Hell
you
yeah.
guys' prophecies, though.
It said they're
Did you really just get like slapped with the Fateless One card from Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, or like?
What does that mean?
Hey,
That's a game.
Hey.
That's a very old game. He's old.
Salvatore
It's
is.
not that old.
It's
He's
only
an
like,
old
Came out
man.
the
it's
same
like
year as
6 years.
Skyrim.
Yeah.
He's an old
And-
man.
Oh wait,
And
that's
he's very
9 years
old.
ago.
Yeah.
Andrew's like 48 or
Andrew,
something.
yeah, Andrew, how old are you? Have you hit your midlife crisis yet, bud?
No,
Yeah.
he's close.
I thought
Okay.
I was an
First
old
of all,
soul,
I'm only
and then
25, but second of all, yes, I had my midlife crisis when I was 14.
Good, good, good.
that's so young.
Wait, you're
No, I
25?
It means he died.
Yeah,
a
I
year
just
ago.
have the taste of an 80-year-old.
Oh, well, I'm
Like,
going to be
literally
20.
all the music I listened to while typing today was sea shanties and Jimmy Buffett.
You don't have the
ancient
taste
man.
of an 80-year-old. You have the taste of like a 470-year-old.
Yeah.
Like the age of
I mean,
sail.
huge mood. Andrew, in a past life, I think we were probably both pirates.
I'm not
think I probably
convinced I'm
cannonballed
not
your ship.
currently a pirate. It's just being a pirate in this day and age is really boring. It just means using a VPN.
Or stealing someone's car.